Alive, everyone. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome to the Nerdbender podcast. We are back, and I have forgot how to improvise, so we're just gonna go. We're just gonna see where this goes. Now we're here to talk about Cartoon Network. 3 seasons in the making, and we're finally doing this. So yes, I am of course the black-haired Rick. I'm not in character because it is fucking hot outside, and I'm not going to go get that jacket. So, and of course we have Freelancer Amber.
What is up, people of the internet?
We have my virtual stunt double, Jaru.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen.
We have your only mate. It's okay.
A copy of Cross Tag Battle isn't here yet.
It's okay. It's okay, man. It's okay. It's okay. We'll get through this. We'll get through this. And we have special guest.
Okay, I'm done with that.
Gamers, fellow nerds, hello.
Yes, we have. This is our special guest, 8-Bit Misfit, my friend, who I am now thinking we should have had on the Disney podcast in retrospective.
Well, we're doing a part 2 later on.
That's true. We are going to do a part 2. So
Yes.
Maybe. Who knows?
With the other special guest.
Yes, exactly. Yes. Okay. So Duo Dreamer is not here because he's off wrestling the moon right now. So wish him luck on that. But no. He's
Go Moon.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, come on! show your co-founder some respect. Damn it!
It has like 30 quadrillion tons on him. I'm like, come on.
He can find a way. You never know. But no. With all seriousness, he says Duo Dreamer could not make it, so we apologize for that. Also, Yang, we're very sorry. And of course, Spectral Star, our comedic effect, is not here because he is extremely, extremely sick. We hope he feels better, but he's not too sick to moderate our chat for us, so he's probably in the chat right now.
Cool.
So
I don't see him.
Well, I don't know if he's there or not, but he'll probably be.
Stuff.
Spectral, where are you?
Exactly. Spectral, where are you?
You'll be there.
Yes. So, okay. Cartoon Network, arguably, all of our childhoods, the network that was able to top Disney in its prime. Very impressive, and it's still going on 25 years later. So we have a lot to cover. So just to be clear, we don't know if we're going to talk about Adult Swim or Boomerang because that's a little too much, but maybe we can, maybe we won't, but point is, we got a lot to cover. So, in order to talk about Cartoon Network, or as I call them, cocaine knuckleheads, we have to go back to the beginning. So, let's go back to the beginning, to where they were just starting off rerunning old Hanna-Barbera cartoons. Those were the days.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and...
Just throwing that out there.
I just grew one gray hair as you said that.
Well, technically all of us did.
Where's my walker?
Exactly.
I have no idea,
man.
Felix. I don't remember.
I know. But of course, we can't talk about Cartoon Network without talking about arguably the 4 prime shows that put them on the map today. And the very first one is one that we can all agree. Before Samurai Jack, before Symbiotic Titan, Genndy Tartakovsky was just known for Dexter's Laboratory.
Get out of my laboratory.
Yes. DD, get out of my laboratory!
Some of my favorite voice acting in cartoon history, not to mention it has a great opening theme. That theme song embedded in it.
Like, I'm going to be the one with all the bad opinions this episode, but I can definitely agree. The Dexters was a fantastic show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, oh my goodness. Like comedy. It had comedy. It had comedy. It occasionally had action, but it was mostly just a comedy show. But it, unlike comedy shows these days, it didn't go too far with it.
Right.
So, yeah. And of course, we all have our favorite characters. We have Dexter, we have Mandark, we had Dee Dee, Yes, Mandark.
I still reference Mandark like, on a weekly basis.
Yes, the classic ha 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 ha. That. Yes. Oh man, and it's funny. I remember watching a lot of Dexter.
As iconic as the Jokers. Maybe I don't know.
Oh, you shouldn't have said that. You should not have said that.
I didn't say more iconic.
You do realize I have the Joker on standby, right? I'm just.
Ooh, yes, indeedy. Hello.
Okay, that is fucking amazing.
Surprise, everyone! That's something else.
Surprise! It's now the Joker hour.
Wow. So good. Wow.
Yeah,
That is amazing.
Why couldn't you be the voice of Joker in that Death battle back then?
Or
Okay.
well,
Let me tell you, I've been involved in Versus episodes as doing voices of the Joker, and only 2 of them went well.
Yes. Yes, that is something else I've been hiding this whole time. 8-Bit Misfit does an amazing spot-on Mark Hamill impression that it will literally...
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Yes.
We're
So,
now.
yes, we are. I meant to do that. Good.
Okay.
Anyway, so yes, but yes, Dexter's Laboratory. Oh my god, I don't even think I can say anything that already hasn't been said about that show, other than, god dang, like for Cartoon Network's first original show, it still holds up to this day. Especially the action. Like, I would even make the argument that Dexter should have been in Infinity War because he can make mech suits and other projects that are on Iron Man and Mr. Fantastic level. Like, it's unbelievable.
I don't think even that would have stopped Thanos.
Come on,
That
man.
would be hilarious if he was the only one that stopped Thanos.
You know who's enemy? His sister. He just likes to keep going to his lab and just like knock things over, just like a little touch him, it's destroyed.
What does this button do?
Yeah, DD one hand, like she's got Thanos. Like she'll
yes, exactly. I mean, if she made Mandark, she literally makes Mandark fall in love with him, and again, it's crazy that that's how powerful an OP DD is. And also too, it's funny. Out of all of the shows on this list, Dexter only got one TV movie, and that was that.
I was just gonna ask that. Didn't he have a movie? I never saw it.
Yes. I don't remember him in a movie.
Yes, it was called Dexter's Ego Trip. Basically, for those who haven't seen it, I won't spoil it, or if you haven't seen it in a while, basically it's about Dexter battling robots from the future, so he has to go into the future.
I remember that.
Yes.
Talking about this a couple days ago.
Yes, where he recruits his older self, his much older self, and then they go into an alternate future where basically Mandark has taken over the world and fucked up everyone and made them stupid, and fire is now literally hard to come by in the future. I'm not making that up. And Dexter's older self, his 40 self, is Arnold fucking Schwarzenegger if he was a scientist. A real scientist, I mean.
Sold.
Yeah. It was
Yes, it was dope. Like, especially, like, if you ever wanted to hear Dexter's German accent in an adult way, it sounds funny. It's hilarious. So yeah, what can I say about Dexter that hasn't already been said? Like I said, guys, it's a great cartoon, and it laid the foundation. And if it wasn't for Dexter, we wouldn't have Cartoon Network today. And yet somehow they're still trying to reboot it. Oh, good old Cartoon Network.
That didn't work for Powerpuff Girls.
Oh no, we'll get to that. Don't mention that. Yeah.
I still remember one episode of Dexter's Lab where he basically turned into the Hulk.
Yes, he did.
But
vegetables, didn't it? Like
There was also an episode where
he broke into a supermarket and just ate all the vegetables like
Yes.
overnight.
There was an episode where he got chicken pox. He tried to resist the urge to scratch, but when he ended up, he broke out of his own metal technology, and he kept scratching until he turned into a chicken. And
I remember that.
That episode scared the crap out of me. It made me convinced if I ever got chicken pox, which I never got chicken pox in my life. Okay.
I have.
If I ever got it, I would turn into a chicken.
Is fucking agony when you have chicken pox.
Yes.
Because you're just itching and itching and itching all night.
Exactly. Yes. So I know it's yeah.
Although having oatmeal baths are quite nice.
Oh yeah, oatmeal baths are.
I never had that.
Or baking soda. I think.
Yeah. Yes.
Baking soda. Oh, cool.
One of my favorite episodes of Dexter is where they straight up parodied Speed Racer, and a Speed Racer episode with the fast talking and the dubbing and the animation. It was so good.
Like talking while they go like.
like Speed, you have to drive the Mach 5 in an orderly fashion. Ha ha. But Pops, I can't do that in an orderly fashion because it's out of gas. Ha ha.
Yeah, I remember them parroting a lot of stuff, and very brilliantly too. I think if I remember the one you mentioned earlier where he like hulks out, they make like a reference to like King Kong when he's like tearing up the city and stuff. So there's like little tiny things that like they always had visual gags, but also had like great verbal jokes as well. That's what I always appreciated. Yes,
and speaking of of parodies, they also had 2 other spin-off shows within Dexter. They had Mr. Monkey, a superhero.
I was going to mention that.
I think I remember that.
He was a pet of Dexter, but then he got superpowers. Then he traveled across the galaxy, getting into James Bond type adventures. It was and he was a ladies' man too. Like he literally had a female girlfriend that was human. I don't even understand how that works, but okay. Yes, this is back when Cartoon Network was all about animal and human contact. Like they went far. I'm dead serious.
They even tackled bestiality back then. That's pretty ballsy.
Yeah. Yes, they did.
I was about to say, so Cartoon Network approves bestiality confirmed?
Yes, they do, and they still continue it to this day.
Don't forget the second one, the second spinoff.
Yes. The second spinoff was, I think, the Super Friends. I can't remember what it was called, but
I think Super Pals.
Yeah, Super Pals. That's it. Basically, it was these group of heroes that were their own sort of parody of the Avengers and Justice League, and they were. Yeah, and they were called the Super Pals. Like the first one was an obvious parody of Captain America and Wonder Woman, and his name was Major Glory. Like, if you thought Captain America being literally wrapped up in the American flag was a crazy concept, Major Glory is literally wearing the American flag as a cape and constantly reciting every American patriotism cliche you could possibly imagine. And he was played wonderfully by Rob Paulson.
Oh, really? Oh, that's a wish for that then.
Yes. You had Krunk, the purple version of the Hulk.
Basically, color-inverted Hulk, because in the original, Hulk shorts were purple and he's green, but Kronk, he's purple skin with green shorts.
Yes. Oh, very good.
Wow. Not even trying to be subtle.
Exactly, yes. And then the other one, this one was a Thor. This one was a Thor parody. His name was Valhallen, and he's literally Thor if he was an 80s rocker. Yes. Like he would always say dude or like, thou art tired, my dudettes. Like
he
that.
leapt off of a Led Zeppelin page.
Yes.
It's literally
his fucking guitar axe.
Yes, his guitar axe is Mjolnir, and he could command the skies with it. It was awesome. Yes. It's just like, God damn. They also had other parodies, too. Like, they had a parody of Black Panther that was literally a zebra cat. That never
almost like a white tiger in a way.
Yeah, exactly. But he
acted a Marvel character called White Tiger. If you watch it was a Disney XD show. What was it? Ultimate Spider-Man.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, like this, I remember watching Super Pals and just loving the parody take on superheroes. And I really wish these guys would have gotten their own show. Like it sucks they only got segments instead of their own show, because the adventures these guys, they didn't even do that much superhero crime. They just stayed in the apartment arguing about.
I even remember this one episode where Kron got a tooth. I mean, got a chip in his tooth, literally.
Yes.
He had a freaking like a potato chip in his tooth, but he's chopping too hard. And what was his name? Val Holland.
Yes.
Convinced Major Glory to go to the dentist, but Nick goes, "No, we shall do this ourselves."
Yes, and Major Glory is trying to get the tooth out, but by the end of it, they get the tooth out, but his tooth comes out, and they both go to the dentist.
And do a little small PSA. Remember, dentists are your friends. Clean your teeth regularly.
Yes.
At the dentist literally 2 days ago. So you know what? It works out.
Yes, exactly. But
Then you know they're not your friends. Then they're evil.
Yeah. No, they stabbed my mouth so many times. It was not fun.
Yes, they have.
Or they will stab you. Like, yeah.
Indeed. So yes, remember everyone, dentists are evil, and they will stab your teeth.
Thank you.
But yeah, so that's Dexter's Laboratory. As I said, laid the foundation, and then after that, we would get another Cartoon Network show that arguably is one of their most popular of all time, and that show is Powerpuff Girls.
Oh yeah.
Rich is dying to talk about
Like,
this.
there's like no lyrics, like no singing to them. They just like one theme. Like
Now, unfortunately, because I forgot this, I have the 10th anniversary collection with all 5 seasons, and I have the movie, but it's right over there in my cabinet, and if I take it out, my DVDs and Blu-rays will literally collapse, so I cannot get it.
Right.
So just pretend it's in my hand, and I'm off right now and showing.
It was a very legit show. Very good.
Okay.
Very funny, but also had a lot of violence. Like,
Yeah.
That's what was great
yeah.
about it as a kid, seeing like all the blood and gore. Like you're like,
Yeah.
what's going
yeah,
Yes, exactly.
but blood and gore to kids. It's kid friendly.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Like, okay, they would do anything. Like, that's the beauty about Powerpuff Girls. And see, that's what but here's an interesting fact. I know a lot of people, most people don't know this, but if you're a hardcore Powerpuff Girls fan like me, then you do know this, but the Powerpuff Girls wasn't originally supposed to be the name for the show. That's not what Craig McCracken called it. Its original name was much more hardcore, and if it was kept, then Cartoon Network would have been the greatest fucking network of all time. Are you all prepared are you all ready to hear what the original Powerpuff Girls
I'm
name
actually
was?
curious. I haven't heard this before.
Me neither.
Okay. The Powerpuff Girls were originally called Whoop Ass Stew. And they were called the Whoop Ass Girls. I am dead serious. Okay.
Hold on, let me look this up. I want to know.
There's an intro for it. The intro is still there, and they created 3 shorts.
It would have been like a blaxploitation 70s film, but like with little girls, like open up a can of whoop ass.
Well, no,
Just like I could just imagine.
Fucking whoop ass stew. And it's because they were made from different parts, like in a stew, and then fucking the chemical X.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so here was their real origin. Sugar, spice, everything nice, but the last ingredient was a can of whoop ass, and they became the Whoop Ass Girls. That was their origin. It
That's
wasn't originally
hilarious.
chemical. It wasn't Chemical X that made them come
Oh
to
my
life.
god, I love
And I
that.
thought the Chemical X joke was funny, and that's hilarious.
No,
That's great.
it was a can of whoop ass that brought them to life.
Wow.
And it was an actual can with whoop ass on it, too.
Oh, hang on. I think I have something like that. Give me 1 second.
Okay. Well, Amber's
Yeah,
going.
that's great.
Yes. So yes, Craig McCracken had some serious balls to do that. And when they were picked up, it kind of stands to reason why they couldn't be called the Whoop Ass Girls anymore. But they were called that in their shorts.
It's not a can of whoop ass, but my mom has like these like barbecue things that says whoop ass.
Yes, there's the
Nice.
you
Wow.
hold the Powerpuff Girls ingredients in your hand.
Can we just go ahead and say? Can we just go ahead and say this podcast is sponsored by Whoop-Ass?
Yes, we can. We just
Accidentally drop it in something and then have 3 superheroes show up. I don't know.
20 minutes later, we all have like canisters of it on our doorstep.
exactly, yes. But then after they were picked up, Cartoon Network said, "Okay, Craig, we love this concept, but you've got to change that name." So the Powerpuff Girls were born. So
I
yeah,
understand. When was it? It's 1980 when it came out. I was like 3 years old. And can you imagine 3-year-olds saying whoop ass?
yes, I can, and I wish we would have gotten that. But see, the funny thing about it is, if you have the 10th anniversary collection,
Could you imagine like parents like walking around the supermarket and asking like their toddler anything they'd like to the little treat, and they just go, "I want a can of Whoop-Ass."
I feel like though, after the 80s and the way kids are already kind of conditioned to like things that totally are not for them in the 80s, like the fact that you had RoboCop toys for an R-rated movie for children and things like that, like people are getting like these crazy things in 82 on through. And I think by the time the 90s comes around, kids are just conditioned to just see horribly violent and disgusting, and they always want to see cartoons get more and more grody.
oh,
So
and
I
they
think-
did.
I think them asking for a can of Whoop-Ass would have just, their parents would have been not surprised at the
That
point.
would have been heaven for kids. But what's funny about it is the original intro and the 3 shorts of the Whoop-Ass Girls are available to watch on YouTube. And if you have the 10th anniversary collection, like I do, you can actually see it on your TV. And it was so fucking surreal to know that Craig McCracken called them that. So, yeah, ever since then, I've just been like, can we just have that come back, please? I want the Whoop-Ass to come back. I will pay you so much money to do it.
They could do a spin-off show now for Adult Swim and do that.
All right, there you go.
And just change it.
Yes, Craig McCracken will be so happy. But yes, now that we're done talking about fun facts, let's actually talk about the Powerpuff Girls. And yeah, so
Just put in the chat hashtag bring back the Whoop-Ass.
yes, thank you. Get that trend going. So yes, the Powerpuff Girls, like we said, it had comedy, it had action, it had beautiful animation for the time. It was just a pitch of everything. Like, if you wanted to just see little girls literally fight crime unsupervised, there you go. Like,
Oh, and not to mention one of the best side characters.
oh yes, the villains. Now, in my opinion, the villains of Powerpuff Girls are what made Powerpuff Girls. And one of my favorites, arguably one of everyone's favorites, is Mojo Jojo.
Because let's talk in third person.
Yes, I do not talk like that. I do not speak like that. I am precise to the point. Yes.
I love them. I love them.
And the fact that if you remember, watch the Origins movie of Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah.
He technically is the
Yeah,
one
I
that
remember that.
Yes, we'll get to the movie later because, oh my God, I have a lot to say about that movie. But yes, like Mojo Jojo was amazing as a character. Like, again, like I've seen a lot of crazy arch nemesis for superheroes, but never a genius monkey who wants to take over the world and talks in third person.
His brain's like growing upward. He has to wear a helmet to protect it.
That's the best
Exactly.
part about it is his design. That helmet design is so silly. I love it.
It would get even crazier when the girls would start punching him. And like one episode where they were obsessed with candy and Mojo took the candy. They get so fucking pissed. They keep punching him until he literally can't speak. He's like, and his brain is exposed, and you see little cracks on his brain. They literally came
like the
this
glass is like on his brain and like
Yes, they
Yeah.
came this close to killing him. And yes, every time Mojo would get beat up, you would literally see his brain get fucked up. It's a miracle that he is not that his brain isn't damaged.
And that shell too, it's got a nice point to it, which I always thought kind of funny as I watched as an adult. I was like, I wonder if they planned for that helmet to be rather phallic shaped, like because like it is pretty pointy and it's kind of funny. Like, and you look at it as an adult now, it's really phallic shaped, but then also there's a brain in it, so it's just doubly hilarious.
Yes. Yes.
Oh,
And
I still remember the episode where Mojo Jojo just randomly just turns everyone into dogs.
Oh,
yeah, that was the
Yeah.
first episode.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
they did the same things like in the later episodes, kind of like a rerun, but they just like he just like retells them what happened.
Yes, it's just like this was my point. Look, like, okay, yes, so you say I'm gonna stop you, this and that. Okay, here was where I make my mistake. All right, I underestimate you. You bark at me, and then one of you comes around, boom, you bite me on the butt. Okay, so I have taken these precautions. I have attached a titanium thing onto my buttocks. So therefore, no biting, no dropping. Let me run it again. No biting, no dropping. And then after that, yes, exactly.
Puppies.
Yes, exactly. They were cute as puppies, like the Powerpuff Puppies. Like they were the most adorable damn thing on the earth. And then after Mojo takes all that time to redo this plan again, he's like, okay, Powerpuff Girls, what are you gonna do? We're gonna kick your butt. And he's like, oh, and then boom, he's thrown in jail, turned into a puppy again. I've never seen a show do the same episode but tweak it and it still ends the same. Like that's something you don't see TV shows or do these days. Like, so the fact that they were willing to go back, because I was with Dan Bar, I was like, wait a minute, this is a new episode, but this is the first episode. And then when I see it, I'm like, oh, okay, so I see what they're doing. That's clever. But still, my other favorite, we've got other villains. We've got the Green Gang. We've got the Green Gang. The Gang Green Gang. There we go. I can never pronounce that. The Gang Green Gang, basically.
Try saying that
Yes.
fast.
Yes, try saying that 5 times fast. The Gang Green Gang, the Gang Green Gang, the Gang. Anyway, who were basically just a bunch of juvenile delinquents who really didn't do anything to,
Except for their green skin, and one of them was like had like a eye that's like literally dropping out.
I don't know. Like that's the great thing 8-Bit mentioned. It's just like the animation could be as phallic and disgusting and creepy as it wanted to be.
Oh yeah, it can be some really weird, like especially when they zoomed in on people's faces, which is something I loved in Ren and Stimpy.
Yes,
which would zoom in and show like the pores and like zits and nasty things.
They like the close up thing.
Yeah,
exactly. Yes,
so disgusting. And I always loved that as a kid. I was like, oh, it's so unique and cool. And then you started seeing shows kind of follow suit.
Yes, and one of my favorite Gang Green Gang episodes is where they get superpowers from eating junk food, smoothies, and candy, and then suddenly they have superpowers. They can kick the Powerpuff Girls' asses, and then their superpowers wear off when they have a bowel movement and they have to go use the bathroom. They come back out, their powers are flushed down the drain.
I mean, isn't that when we all lose our abilities too?
Yes, but
you know what else I remember about Mojo? He created the Rowdy Rough Boys.
Oh yes, that's another popular.
Yeah, everyone in the chat's been talking about that.
Yes, the Rowdy
Rough. It's great.
Yes, basically the opposite of the girls, except they're rude jackasses. So yes, and in my opinion, though, after their first 2 episodes, I hated.
Wasn't there one fight where the Powerpuff Girls basically beat them by just kissing them?
Yeah, they did.
That was their first appearance.
Yeah.
They used their to quote Grimm from Billy and Mandy, why don't you use your feminine wilds to make him to talk? That's what they did. They kissed them. So yes, but other villains are the Rowdy Rough Boys, like you said, and the Amoeba Boy.
The Amoeba Boys.
Or as I call them, the Jobbers. They're pathetic.
I remember those guys.
Okay.
It's him.
Yes, I was saving him for last, but sure. Let's talk about him. Or as he was originally called in the Whoop Ass Girls, Satan. That is Satan. Yes, no, that is literally Satan. Once again, when the whoop-ass girl's name had to go, Satan's name had to go. So,
I understand that.
yes. And they, but they
I
do.
thought that would have been great if everybody else had elaborate names and they're just like, oh no, that's Satan.
Yes, exactly. So casual. Yeah, I would have loved to hear the girls say it's Satan. Yeah, but no, the episode where him appears, they do compensate that by saying he's the most dangerous and terrifying creature of all evil villainy. He's so evil that we don't even say his name. We just call him. We just say him. It's
Doing
so
an it/Voldemort thing. I like it.
yes,
I was
exactly.
thinking that.
Yes, exactly. But okay, him was arguably
Could you imagine if like J.K. Rowling was going to do that, but then thought, oh, I might get sued by Powerpuff Girls. I'll just say he. That's not the case.
That would be the weirdest legal dispute.
yes, it would. But yes, no.
I mean, Marvel and DC had to do that over the name Captain Marvel. So.
Oh yes, they
Yeah.
did. But okay, so they did, yes. But yes, him was arguably, in my opinion, their best villain because again, unlike Mojo Jojo, who just wants to take over the world, he doesn't want to beat the Powerpuff Girls. He just wants to take over the world. But with him, he just wants to cause fucking chaos and do whatever the fuck. So he was literally their Joker. He did anything because he could and because he could get away with it. And every time the girls fought him, it was something that wasn't easy. Like there was that one episode where they traveled to the future and
I mentioned that.
or as you know I call it, the traumatizing episode where like him has taken over the whole world, turned everyone into pale imitations of what they used to be, and he's just mocking them, telling them, yeah, you lost, you did this, I won. So I'm like,
I don't
"Jeez."
remember that episode, so it goes all Infinity War on them.
Oh yes,
Vaguely do.
yes, like again, like,
not
you
very well.
literally see him bring hell on Earth. Everything is red, everything is post-apocalyptic, and the whole
So Cartoon Network like it is now. I'm just kidding.
Yes. No, good joke. So, yes, no. Him was one of my favorites, especially the way, dude, this guy had claws. He was like, he was literally like, oh my God, what's his name in Rocky Horror Picture Show? He was like that
Oh my
mixed
gosh,
with
yes.
the devil. I mean, seriously, what kind of a Satan do you see wearing stockings and high heels and
Big thing around his neck.
exactly and talking in
I
this?
don't know on certain episodes, maybe the South Park Satan.
Probably, yeah. But and of course, who could forget him's voice? I can't do it, but it's just like he talked like this, very distortedly. Yeah, so you can't even tell if it's if Satan or him is female or male. That's how fucking creepy he was.
See, you couldn't get away with doing that in PC culture today because it'd be like, what are you trying to say? You're trying to say people of don't know genders are like scary, but that's what's so funny and clever about stuff like that is.
Yeah.
It is to a kid. I would imagine it would be kind of creepy to hear a voice like that and not be able to tell because we're always so visual as kids that we want to be certain when we're seeing adults. You know, come at us.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna say anything, but yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's actually a very smart part of it because it's just one more aspect of chaotic like insanity to his character.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you would never see anything like that. There would be something picked apart if they had done something like that to a villain or a major character, which
Yeah.
is why I like that show so much.
Yes.
Oh, and don't
Exactly.
forget, Papa was another villain. What's his name? Fuzzy, the pink redneck.
Fuzzy Lumpkins! Yes! Arguably my favorite. They caught me in my birthday suit! Get off of my property! Hey, get off of my property! Like,
Didn't he get beat up the most though?
yes, he did. He got beat up the most.
I was gonna say because I remember. I mean, I remember in the intro, but I just couldn't remember. I don't remember his episodes very well. You guys probably know more than I do.
His introduction, he's basically, we don't know what Fuzzy Lumpkins is. He's just a redneck
Fake Fuzzy.
Yes, exactly. But he literally starts off where all he wants to do is be left alone with his banjo named Joe. He calls his banjo Joe. And yes, and all he wants to do is play it. But then every time a leaf or a squirrel pop up, he gets out his shotgun or his boomstick, as he calls it, and he's like, "Get off of my property!" And then he shoots it. But then when he goes into the city for the first time, everyone's touching his shit. They're trying to help him, and he starts attacking them animalistically. Yes, and then when the Powerpuff Girls show up, he beats the crap out of them too. After he was just playing his banjo. So, in my opinion, Fuzzy didn't do anything wrong.
Right.
He was just in a bad, misunderstood
Hashtag Fuzzy did nothing wrong.
He didn't. He didn't deserve it. But
I'm putting that in the chat.
Didn't Fuzzy have like some sort of weapon that turns things into meat?
I think he did.
Yes, I actually remember that.
He shot, and it got one of Bubbles' pigtails, and it turned into a drumstick.
Yeah.
Yes.
That
And
episode
Bubbles
freaked
back
me
then,
out.
I remember Bubbles back then. He was like almost like Yang. She loves her hair, and seeing it turn into a drumstick. Oh.
Yeah,
I know.
That episode somehow still sticks in my head. I don't know why that one of all of
Oh,
them.
what about the time that he went to a wrestling match and he beat the
Yes, he had to wrestle the mayor, but he said, "I'm gonna have my cousins do it." Like he had his cousins fight the mayor, but then the mayor's like, "That's not fair. It's 5-on-1." He's like, "Oh, okay, fine. Go ahead and pick your partner." And then the mayor has to decide who's he gonna choose, and he says, "I choose Professor Utonium, get in here." And he's like, "What's wrong with you? Take one of my girls." It's like, "Come on, get in here." And Professor Utonium gets the shit beat out of him immediately. He doesn't even get to do anything. But oh god, yes. But I love Fuzzy Lumpkin. He was one of their original villains when they were called the Whoop-Ass Girls. So he's one of my personal favorite. Oh, and of course, I forgot one last villain, Princess Morbucks.
Oh yeah, the somewhat wise of Powerpuff Girls.
Okay,
There's-
well,
There's
I said
one
somewhat. I didn't say
thing.
entirely.
There's one thing I really remember about this character. It was in the Christmas special. She just
yeah.
basically
Yeah.
went to the North Pole and changed like the lists around.
Yeah, because
Yes.
he made anyone that's on the nice list naughty, but the one sticky note that says naughty princess changed it to nice.
exactly, yes. And then Santa just gives her the Powerpuff Girls power because again, Santa Claus can do fucking anything, I guess. And then she has superpowers. Although this is technically her second time having the Powerpuff Girl powers because she actually got Chemical X injected into her by Mojo, so she had the powers, but they were more better.
I'm getting Lex Luthor flashbacks, like injecting with a kryptonite steroid or something.
Yeah, exactly. So
Oh my god,
yeah.
she is Lex Luthor.
She is so she is kind of considered the fourth Powerpuff Girl, or actually no, she's the sixth because there were 3 more Powerpuff Girls. There was Bunny,
the weird
They-
abomination thing.
they killed her off. One of the emotional episodes of the show, and there was the squirrel. There was a Powerpuff
Yeah,
Girl.
squirrel.
Yes, who Bubbles could talk to. Yes, who
Oh, right.
Bubbles. Yeah, and then lastly, there's Princess.
Yeah.
But anyway, my favorite episode, I don't know about y'all, is called The Beatles, where Mojo, him,
I remember that one.
yes, Mojo, yes, Mojo, him, Princess, Fuzzy Lumpkins come together just to take out the Powerpuff Girls, but then they're fighting over who should do it. The Powerpuff Girls are yelling at them, saying they're trying to get some sleep, and then Fuzzy's like, "It's the Powerpuff Girls!" And then everyone's like, "Attack them!" And they destroy them. And then they realize how good they are, so they call themselves, I can't remember what their original name was, but Mojo said, "No, too complicated."
I think
And-
he said the Silver Beetles.
Yes, exactly. There you go, the Silver Beatles. But then
Yeah.
Mojo's like, "We shall be called the Beatles." And if you are a huge fan of the Beatles band, which Craig McCracken and the crew were fans of the Beatles, they actually had them, one of them on the show once, and Ringo even did a song for them when they came back. this episode is a Beatles Easter egg hunt. There's so many Beatle references.
Like,
Yeah, the walking across the street, the half-shadowed face.
Yes, there's
the
even
whole thing is a parody of how the Beatles fell apart. Like, it's
a genius.
And in other words, kids, break out that LSD. No, I'm just kidding.
Exactly. There's even a moment where Professor Utonium is using one of the Beatles songs to inspire the girls, but they reverse the lyrics somehow. So it's crazy. Like, if you're a huge fan of the Beatles, you'll love that episode. It's crazy.
Totally worth watching. It's just for, like he was saying, Easter eggs alone, musical references, even just like weird,
comedy. I would say
music stuff.
I would even say it has the best writing of the series, like in terms of jokes and comedy. So
there's another episode of Power Rangers I want to watch. Almost like I don't know, Power Rangers or Godzilla kind of thing, but they went to a Japanese style Townsville, and they went to a beach, and the giant monster, and
the Puff Monster. Yes, the Puff Monster. Yeah, he came up, and then the girls tried to take him down, and that
Professor Utonium
gets so worried about them that he creates a giant mech for them, and again, the girls even tell him they don't need it, which is kind of a good. It's like if Superman had a fucking mech, he wouldn't need that thing. I mean, Batman could use it, yeah, but it's just like if you have superpowers, why would you need a mech? But this is where this is kind of clever satire. Then when they eventually use it. Again, it's like Amber said, it's Power Rangers meets Godzilla, where they beat the damn thing, but they cause so much collateral damage, the city is gone, and the mayor is pissed and telling them that, who did this? And they point to Professor Utonium. So Professor Utonium now owes roughly about, $2 billion, $10 billion in collateral damage? Just for that. So, yeah. Thanks, Professor.
Yeah.
What about the time that where the girls had to be on so many missions that the professor actually feels like that, makes himself a power suit?
Yes, he does. Power Prof. Yes. Oh my God. Yes. Like, and he even
stuff I don't remember.
He even uses horrible 90s dated catchphrases like, let's get jiggy with it, as you kids say, or like, oh, stop. Yes.
I think it was still the 90s at the time, but depending on like what year that episode came out, but
yes, but it was a great episode. But then by the end he realized, like, okay, yeah, I can't do this. If I was younger, maybe, but I need to just sit this out and let you girls do your job.
Done feels in the morning, and they thank Mojo. I think they thank Mojo for that.
Yeah, they did. One of so yeah. Holy shit, we could talk about Powerpuff Girls all day for the rest of this podcast, but unfortunately,
Dexter.
Yes, we could. So
I'm actually curious though, out of all the characters, who would you pick for like one solo? If you had to pick one character, spin-off show, or just one that you really enjoyed for like all-around comedy and like character development, is there one that you'd pick? Because there's so many good ones.
Yes,
I don't remember enough to give a good answer.
Okay. I'm thinking. Okay, I would say, based off comedy alone, I would say Fuzzy Lumpkins, because he did have the best jokes. And again, I think like maybe they could have had it written well, but it would have just depended. Because again, like Fuzzy Lumpkins is more funnier. I would actually say maybe just give the Beatles a spinoff, like have all four of them team up on a regular basis. Like I think that would be even better to see all of them together.
I'd say my favorite's probably Mojo.
Yeah.
I always like villains more than heroes, and he's the best villain.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. He changes. He develops.
Yes, he does. Like, I mean, shit. He actually saved the day a couple of times, and then it's later told to us he created the Powerpuff Girls, so he's their real father. Yes, so that makes
he really had that whole spin on that of him being
Like,
Why am I picturing? No, I am your father. No, that's
No,
not true.
that's
That's
true.
impossible.
Impossible. Search your feelings, girls.
I mean, it's
You
really
know
a
it to
blend
be
of all
true.
that, right? Like,
Yes, it
he's
is.
really
So
a
that
blend of a lot of villains, like Marvel villains, DC villains, and even Star Wars villains. Like,
yes, he is. The only villain I say that wouldn't be able to get a spin-off show is him, because see, that's the thing. I think that would be too intense, and the guy is fucking OP. He's the most OP villain of them all. He can literally warp reality on a fucking regular basis. So it's just like, how do you give him a show? It's just better to use him, and that's why they used him sparingly.
right.
But yeah, no. So, okay. So, yes, we could talk about the whole show and how it started with 4 good seasons. Then it kind of went downhill after season 5 and season 6, especially the most disgusting episode, which, for the sake of our sanity, I will not bring up because, yeah, Cartoon Network took it way too far. Or whoever wrote this took it too far. Again, I dare not say it. It's so fucking disgusting. If I say it, I feel like everyone in this chat will die. So,
Well,
you're welcome.
It's been years for me. I don't remember what episode what anymore, except for the ones we mentioned.
Yeah, well,
I didn't watch all of the show, so I probably haven't even seen it.
yeah. I've binge watched it religiously, so it's all good.
Well,
But
We should probably move on to the next show.
But the chat say if you want to reveal it.
yes, of course. But okay, well, real quick. I think we could talk about the Powerpuff Girls movie, but we'll save it for when we get to the movies category.
All right.
If we
Sounds
have
good.
time. So the next show, finally, that came out is Johnny Bravo. Do the monkey with me. Yes. Okay.
I was wondering
Okay.
how many people were going to do that.
Yes.
I was like, I don't know.
Everyone in the chat, do the monkey.
I can't be asked.
Yeah, it's fine. Like,
Oh, if I'll just say I did. There you go.
okay, fair enough. But yes, okay. If Dexter's Laboratory, Powerpuff Girls, and the next show were a blend of things you would never see Cartoon Network do it today, then Johnny Bravo is undoubtedly the king of them all, because Johnny Bravo tackled a sexual, egotistical person in the 60s, a warped reality of the 60s that is all about a guy trying to get laid. And yes,
I can't really contribute much because I never saw a single episode.
how
Oh,
dare
really?
you? I'm kidding.
I
It's
remember
basically John Travolta, the animated series. That's
Yeah.
really- that's all it is.
It sounds amazing. Wait.
Okay,
It literally
oh
is
my God.
that. It's blonde-haired John Travolta if he were the size of The Rock, going around and trying to hit on women all day
Well,
long.
actually, no. A better comparison is
Fantastic.
it's a combination. It's a combination of John Travolta, Elvis, because Johnny Bravo is mostly inspired by Elvis, and Dwayne.
His hairdo. Even his
Yes.
hairdo, almost like
Yeah.
Even his voice is Elvis. Like that's Elvis. That's an Elvis voice impression by Jeff Bennett.
So this must be some horrible alternate where those things are attractive, because that's the only possibility.
Yes. Well, okay. So it takes place in the 60s. So it doesn't take place, unlike the other shows that take place in modern day, Johnny Bravo takes place in an alternate version of the 60s where we have internet. I am dead serious. Johnny uses the internet. So it's confirmed. It's a warped reality of the 60s. So
Dexter brought him, like, went back in time and brought him. the
yes,
internet power.
that's the only explanation. Like, Johnny, here's the internet. Did you get away?
See, here's the thing. It's not accurate, because if Johnny Bravo had discovered the internet back then, he wouldn't be going out looking for girls. Let's face it. He would be on like Pornhub or something. He would not be out there doing. He would completely be a loser in like a basement just looking at porn.
His muscles would deteriorate and he'd be a
Yeah.
fat guy.
Yeah.
But okay, so talking about, I brought the first season on DVD, and once again, I forgot to get it out, so again, apologies. But yes, I've been watching it. Holy shit! Like, the stuff they got away. I am so surprised this was Cartoon Network. There was an episode where Johnny is on an island full of Amazon women, Wonder Woman, and then they're like, but the Amazon women are giants, like 10 feet tall, and Johnny looks so small compared to them.
Futurama flashbacks.
Yes, exactly. And they it's secret to them, but Johnny gets in, and then the only way they can get rid of him is by sacrificing him to the virgin volcano. They assume Johnny Bravo is a virgin, and Johnny even says, "Wait, virgin?" And they throw him in there, and then he goes off onto the island of Amazon men. They're about to go swimming, and they say, hey there, dude, we're about to go swimming. We have an extra bathing suit if you want to join us. And it just ends with Johnny going,
the funny thing about that is the fact that they chose to throw him in a volcano. I'll just let your imagination run wild with that, because that in itself, they knew what they were doing, and that's what I mean about it being clever.
Yes, like season 1 is hands down one of the best written Cartoon Network shows of all time. Like, they could do anything they want. Like, there was even a famous episode where they crossed over with Scooby-Doo.
Oh yeah.
And
I just remember the clip of him losing his glasses alongside.
yeah, it's like my glasses.
Yeah.
I can't be seen without my glasses. Yes. And there's even a point where Velma hits on him and says, "Don't worry, I won't bite." And there's even a scene where sorry, go ahead.
I knew it. The second he enters an alternate reality, he is a chick magnet. He just lives the worst version of the universe.
Yeah, because isn't Velma the only person that has kind of like, and of course he didn't want it, but like the only female that has really like given him a time of day. Yeah, because I think everybody like, you know, it was like
Johnny eventually had 2 girlfriends, but then it got retconned by season 3. Like the first girlfriend he had, like his mom, who he calls Mama, like, I'm coming, Mom. Like, he always exaggerates it like that. His mother found him a date, and then he lives happily ever after, but then it gets retconned, and then he has a date, and she, I think, eventually leaves him. There's even one episode where they literally parody Titanic, except it's Johnny Bravo.
I can see it right now.
That.
I don't remember that either.
Yes, and Johnny gives the girl a locket. It takes place years later. The girl comes to see him. He tries to hit on her when she's trying to forgive him, and then she takes the locket he gave her and she flushes it down the toilet in front of him, and he's traumatized. And then he dies off screen.
There we go, guys. What we need to have is when they make that live action Johnny Bravo movie, someone needs to vote and have Leonardo DiCaprio play him so it comes full circle. Academy Award winner Leonardo DiCaprio plays your childhood hero, Johnny Bravo.
Well, also, too, going back to the Scooby
Inception. Like, what is this?
Exactly.
Yes. Well, okay. So going back to the Scooby-Doo crossover, there's also one more sexual reference they throw. 2 more, actually.
Only 2?
Well, there's 3 in this. 3 in this, I tell you. The first one was with Velma hitting on him. The second one was when, they're doing the split up, and then, Daphne offers to go down to the basement with Velma, and then Fred comes in and is like, Daphne, remember? And then Daphne's like, oh, okay. Fred and I will check the basement.
Yes. That's clever. I like that.
Without even saying it.
Yeah.
You know where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
And then the third one, the best of them all, is when they're getting chased by the villain in this, while they're looking for his Aunt Jebediah, and then Daphne is so scared she jumps up onto Fred's arms, and Fred does this.
That's great stuff. I like those. I didn't even remember any of that stuff until you brought it up, and I just kind of I picture it immediately. I have seen that.
Yes,
So good.
Yeah. So
Well,
Johnny
there's even
Bravo-
chat was saying like John Silhan was saying like also met alien girls, which I forgot about too.
Oh yes, he did meet like Johnny Bravo got into so many weird adventures. It was crazy. There's even one episode where he's James Bond, but he's not called James Bond. And there's even okay, here's one of my favorite sexual references from Johnny Bravo. It's in that James Bond movie. The main girl's got a trench coat, and he's like, the best part about women with trench coat, you never know what they got under there.
Damn!
Wow.
That was
Wow. No, see, this is why they'll never be able to make a true Johnny Bravo spinoff or movie today, because people will be like, nope. Like,
This
after
is
hashtag
why-
Me Too, this would not work, guys.
they will never reboot Johnny Bravo. They can
No,
reboot
I
all
can't
these
see
others,
it.
but they can't. They would have to tone him completely down. So yes, that's Johnny Bravo, and I don't want to keep. Everyone who has not seen the show or hasn't seen it in a while, please, I urge you, go watch it. You will laugh
Roger.
so hard.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's great stuff, especially if you haven't like, because now it's so easy to get it. I've seen it on streaming and on DVDs and stuff. Like,
Yes, which speaking of that, thank you, Cartoon Network, for only releasing season 1 of Johnny Bravo and not the other 3, you fucking assholes.
is that some kind of like studio deal? Were they not able to get that
I have
released or something? I don't know what that is. What's wrong with that?
no, they're just
Seems
too
so strange.
no, they're just too fucking cheap to release DVDs these days that they're like, fuck it, put it on digital. I don't care. That's literally, and I'll get to why I believe that in a minute. But yes, okay, so
Move on to the next show.
yes, let's move on to the last Golden Age show. And arguably, when I mention this show, it's always in your top 3, maybe even your number 1. But that show is Stupid Dog, You Make Me Look Back. Ah! Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Classic.
Booga booga booga.
It is
my-
actually definitely my favorite.
Those
My
my
f-
favorite shows out there, especially these two freaks. The fucking thing that encourages dream, like I don't know.
Yes.
You know
Okay.
what?
Yes.
The
so,
darker Scooby Doo is what I like to call it, because it
Yes.
really goes
And
there
also that other
sometimes.
thing that goes, return the slab.
Slap.
That's fucking creepy. Those things
Or-
creep me out.
Yes. Okay. We'll get to that because oh my God, we could create a whole podcast dedicated to courage.
Oh yeah.
So anyway, okay, so yes, if Johnny Bravo was the most best comedy-ridden show of all time, Powerpuff Girls was the best action show of all time, Dexter was the smartest of the cartoon of all time, then Courage is the best horror comedy of all time. It had horror and comedy mixed together.
Which always
And-
go well together. As Sam Raimi has
Yeah.
always said, horror and comedy go together like, you know, it's just like chocolate and milk. You can't.
Yes. Oh, yes. Like, okay, where do we even begin with Courage the Cowardly Dog? Like, that's my question. Where can we begin? Like,
Like I think what's the first episode? You know, the alien chickens.
yeah, no, actually,
oh,
that was the pilot.
It's
That was
the,
the pilot for
like
the show.
pre-show, kind of like they
Yeah,
did, or
yeah,
before they
Yeah,
set
on
up.
What a
established the
Cartoon.
So
universe.
much of the show, I barely remember a bunch.
yeah. It was on
Really
their
bugging me.
Yeah, it was on their network called What a Cartoon, where they would put all of these famous Cartoon Network shows in the golden age that we grew up with on there, and kids would pick them out. And Courage was one of them. The robot, the chicken. Excuse me, the chicken from outer space. And this short was so popular. I am dead serious. I can't make this up if I tried. It was so popular that it was nominated for an Academy Award. It's the only Cartoon Network pilot to be nominated for an Oscar.
See, that's the thing too, is like when you get, well, and you know, those award shows used to be more, but used to acknowledge more of the creativity and animation back then, weird or not. I mean, not that they don't in certain cases now, you know, in cases like Rick and Morty and stuff and certain things,
Yes.
but it's mainly for the writing and nothing beyond that. And that's a shame
Yes.
too.
It
But,
is. Yes.
Also, animation's changed in itself quite a bit. So I guess, you know, the way people look for it
Yes. Okay. So with Courage, yes, the first, like every episode, terrified and haunted me when I was a kid. But it was so funny too. Like it was the only time I loved to get scared. Like I can.
Yeah.
There's so many classic episodes. There's the episode with Ramses, King Ramses. Return the slab or suffer my curse. What's your offer? Like there's that. There's one of my personal favorite episodes, the windmill episode, where their windmill, which powers their farm, turns out it was built by this guy who created these runic symbols in it to keep dead Vikings away. And when the windmill stops turning, they return from the dead. And when they return from the dead, when we first see them, the first thing they do is decapitate Eustace's head and Muriel's head and Courage's head, and they have to play head swap with each other's bodies. And they didn't cut away from it. They showed the decapitation in a cartoony way, and you even heard the sound. Yes, they were that fucking hardcore.
So technically, they do kind of like kill off Eustace and Muriel a couple times, right?
Muriel doesn't die that much. Like it's mostly Eustace is the one who always dies in some cases.
Because like you were saying in chat, he's kind of like
you could say you go Eustace to that.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Okay, I'll give you a pause.
Okay, here's the
anyway, I was just checking to her.
Here's the quick thing. I don't know if it's on Twitter or Facebook. I saw this like little fan-made comic that's saying that finally Eustace is officially dead, like dead, not coming back from a car accident. And and again, it's a fan-made comic. And
wow.
Muriel goes home with Courage, tries to comprehend everything. She actually tries to kill Courage, but she couldn't do it.
Oh my God.
And when I first saw this, it's like, okay, Eustace survives being decapitated. So, like, turn into a puppet, turn into a toilet, and whatever. And he finally kicks the bucket from a car wreck. Are you serious?
Yes. Well, okay, no. It's funny you mentioned that.
By the way, before we go any further, can I just shout out a pun I saw in the chat?
What?
Yes, you may shout out a pun.
From Yanni Insane. People needed courage to watch those.
Oh God!
Oh,
oh God! We hate the puns. But
screw you!
Yes, there you go. Yes. Okay. So there was one episode I remember, but when I watched this, when I watched someone's review on this recently, it made me realize something horrifying that I didn't even think about, nor did any of us, for that matter. You guys remember that one episode where this talking alligator, go with it, comes in for a puppet show, and then it turns out that the puppets he has used to be real people, but they're hanging on the strings, and he has spots for Eustace, Muriel, and Courage, and then he eventually sticks the strings into them. Like the strings come out of the classic comedy / drama mask, and then they attach into the human body, and they become puppets, and then they're just inanimate objects. So by the end of that, Courage takes them back home, and he pretends that nothing ever happened, so he's playing with them. But then what this person said made me realize that Courage, by the end of that episode, is playing with his family's dead corpses. Because they are dead. They're not alive anymore.
I didn't really think of it like that. That's kind of messed up.
They're dead. So that means for the rest of Courage's life, he's gone insane, thinking they're still alive.
Well, wouldn't you, if you were like trying to tell everybody they're inviting weird like things into their house and all this horrible shit has happened to them over like years, and then no one's listening to him or realizing any of this stuff, and he's having to deal with it all. You would think he would be in a mental institution.
Yeah, I do.
He should be in a straitjacket by the end of this series. Like
he really should. Yes, he should.
Oh God.
I know. Yes. Okay.
It's like the Seinfeld ending, except instead of pulling out from a cell, it's Courage in a cell with in a padded room.
Yes, but okay. So again, there were also some great emotional episodes too. That I don't care how strong of a heart you of a will you have. When Courage did emotional episodes, they made you fucking cry, and it was amazing.
I remember about Courage's parents, like.
Yes, the
Yeah,
real.
that's what somebody mentioned in there. Yeah, the real parents thing.
Yes, where Courage's parents were kidnapped by this evil asshole. They were Yes, they were experimented on, and then the fucker launched them into space on the moon. And Courage was abandoned out on the streets, and then Muriel came and picked him up.
And ironically named him Courage.
Yes. Again, it's Jesus Christ. Oh my God.
So Muriel raised him from others. So basically, Courage is Superman.
Yeah? Holy shit.
They're like the Kents in the farm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I never thought. Wow.
That's hilarious.
Courage versus
Courage confirmed to be for the DCEU next year.
Yes, I will pay you money for that, DC.
Would have made Justice League a hell of a lot more hilarious on purpose.
Yeah, it's like the things I do for love. And of course, who could forget, Eustace. I loved Eustace. Like, Eustace was my favorite, especially when he would pull out the mask and go, booga, booga, booga.
I have a
And then, of course-
grandfather that was just like him. So it's hilarious. Like, I'm just like, this clearly somebody has had like just super cranky, did everything he could to torture like little kids and dogs around the house. Like just all kinds, like just as prankster as ever. And just
Exactly, yes.
Grandfather.
Yes, like all of them were such great characters, and of course he had the best villains as well. He had Cat, a red cat that had sinister music. Like there was a villain that was made out of Eustace's fungus feet and achieved life and stuff. I don't want to get into it; it's disgusting, but yes, like holy shit. And Courage never got a movie, too.
Oh, yeah, don't forget Evil Olaf.
Yes, Evil. Oh, well, okay, he wasn't that. He was just misunderstood, but yeah, technically he. But what's funny about the Snowman is whenever someone voiced him, they did a Sean Connery impersonation. Lash. Yes, it's just like a lash to be
I'm
the
getting
lash.
Dr. LeQuack. Dr. LeQuack.
Yes,
Yep.
Dr.
Dr.
LeQuack.
LeQuack.
Oh, yes.
Le dog is good. Le quack is good. Le dog is bad. And remember that hypnotizing episode.
Yes, yes.
It's a great line.
Oh, and of course, the scariest villain of them all, the one who puts all the other villains to shame, the one who traumatizes me to this very day. Every time I binge watch Courage, I skip his episode, and every time I see his face, I immediately just get frightened. And that person is Fred.
Fred. Oh, good old
Oh,
Fred.
damn, with that damn smile of his.
Nobody say his line in the chat. I swear to God, nobody say it. Every time
I don't even remember it, and I'm watching the chat.
Either.
Oh God! It literally okay. When I did watch the episode on accident a couple weeks ago, I was literally shaking and my heart was racing 1,000 miles per minute. I was literally terrified. It still haunts me.
That damn smile. And he's Muriel's nephew?
Yes, he is.
See, the episode that creeped me out the most as far as villains goes is the one where they invite the guy that's the bloodsuckers. All that stuff, but the freaking mosquito thing.
Oh God! Why did you people say it?
Somebody send the picture. Good one, guys. Whoever did that. Someone send a picture of his grin.
Oh,
It's okay.
oh, that's hang
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, and all that stuff, like the creepy imagery has like this weird there was some moments that just felt like some episodes that had been directed by like Picasso and some weird artists
Oh, that's
sometimes.
when
I need you all to tell me he's not here. I need you all to tell me he's not here. I need you all to tell me he's not here. Just tell me he's not here.
Powerpuff Girls.
You're good. You're good.
Okay.
I
Okay.
barely remember this, so I had no idea what you're talking about.
He's so chill over there. You know what? You being chill over there is he's probably right behind you because you don't know what anything's been talking about. You're just like, I don't know what's going on. So, you be the first victim.
Okay. Let's move on.
So,
He's chilling on my
what's
bed.
the next show?
Okay,
Chopping
so
block.
We
yes.
didn't talk about Courage that much. We just talked about like a little bit of it, not as much as Powerpuff Girls.
Well,
The problem with Courage is
talk
there's not much to talk about other than the highlight episodes because that thing was over so quickly, which is a
it
shame.
was lasted
don't-
4 seasons.
Do
too.
we
Like,
know
and see-
why? Do we
I'll tell
have
you
the full
one
details as to
character
why it was canceled?
Remember
No.
vaguely.
What episode is that?
Yeah, which
No,
one?
I just remember one character.
Oh, which one?
The guy who just shows up and says, "Watch where you're going, you fool!"
Yes,
Oh,
him!
yeah.
We're going. He was a recurring pedestrian.
Yeah, that was like an ongoing joke, right?
Yeah, it was. Okay. Yeah, no, Tim, 8-Bit Misfits got a point. It's just like, unlike Powerpuff Girls and the other shows, Courage was over like that. Like, it lasted 4 seasons, so it actually had some good years behind it. But see, yeah, that's-
look at it. Lasted 3 years, 1999 to 2002.
Yeah,
Yes.
it feels like it was over before it even really started. That's
Yes.
the thing with Courage.
yeah, exactly. I don't know why it ended. Like, there's really no reason. It never got canceled. I think it was just done. Like, I guess that was it. Because see, the thing with Courage, if you watch all 4 seasons and you see how it began, how it ended, you can kind of understand because, okay, they used up all of their imaginations for these episodes as possible. So it's the same thing with Powerpuff Girls. We're like, okay, maybe after 4 seasons, that's where they're like, okay, we can't think of anything else, so let's just end it. So
Yeah.
Courage did what Powerpuff Girls should have done and just ended in 4 seasons. But yeah,
and
no,
on a
like,
high note is always a good thing because at least it's become a classic we can always go back to.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, like if we do have a dedicated podcast to Courage, it'd just be us talking about the episodes itself. It
Individually,
wouldn't.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, it's understandable. But yeah, so we're now done with the 4 Golden Age shows. Again, this is what started Cartoon Network from where they are today. So now we can move on
Talking about the show I
to.
remember the most.
Yeah, now we can talk about the Golden Age from 2000 to 2005.
Well, one of the other shows that came out like in the late 90s, like Cow and Chicken.
Oh, yes.
Because that also came out in 1997, the same year that Johnny Bravo came out.
Okay, yes, it's very good.
Which I like to call the kind of like sprinkled in, shortly lived shows. Because I mean, like some of them longer than others, but like they kind of spin offs and
2 years.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, yeah, Cow and Chicken. The red guy was my favorite part of it. I mean, I remember being freaked out by that show and just thinking, what the hell is?
and
I
they
enjoyed-
tried to recreate their own Ren and Stimpy is what they
Yeah,
were trying to
which-
go for.
Which didn't work, in my opinion. I mean,
Yeah.
and, like,
Pork Butts and Taters is a great episode though. If no one's seen the Pork Butts and Taters
Yeah.
like song in that one episode, that's my favorite bit about that whole show.
yes, exactly. And of course, then you had the spinoff of that, which is I Am Weasel with Weasel and IR Baboon. That show I just remember watching and just being like, okay, it's cool. I like it. I can't really say anything about it.
It's not clever,
Other than-
but it's not
I
stupid.
Just
Like, you know
remember
what
the
I
line, "I am to let it."
Yeah.
mean? Yeah.
And this is also one show. I don't remember. It was either on Cartoon Network or Boomerang, but who remembers Two Stupid Dogs?
Yes, Two Stupid
Oh
Dogs.
yeah. I
That's
forgot. And that was
another-
another one too that was sprinkled in.
And its spin-off, Secret Squirrel.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Well, technically, those were created. Okay, so Two Stupid Dogs was also created by Gendy Tartakovsky,
So all
which he.
three of them and
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if Secret Squirrel was, but I do remember the Secret Squirrel and Two Stupid Dogs, especially the theme song for Two Stupid Dogs. Two Stupid Dogs. Two Stupid Dogs.
yeah.
Like the episodes themselves were like they were pretty cool, but I can't remember any episodes that were my favorites.
Few of them. I remember when they were going to space.
Yes,
somehow.
okay, that one I remember.
Oh, we'll get there, Lightning Star.
Yes, yes. Okay. Then of course, Secret Squirrel, which was a reimagining of the '60s Hanna-Barbera cartoon, because this Cartoon Network now has all of Hanna-Barbera's properties. So I liked the new Secret Squirrel. It was actually pretty funny and very good, but I think the problem with it is that it was trying to hit an audience that I don't think would like it too much back then. Like maybe today nostalgia could be the reason why we remember it and watch it, but I don't really know if I would say it was an amazing show like the other 4 shows.
I wouldn't how Nickelodeon had their whole style was like disgusting, weird, and quirky too. And I think, and that's what I loved about Nickelodeon. So at the time when stuff like that, like you had stuff like Angry Beavers, which I loved, which was another show that got canceled way too early. And it reminded me a lot of shows like that. It was like this show that was meant to be kind of like lightly sprinkled that actually went for multiple seasons, a little longer than they planned from the popularity of it. And stuff like that, and All Real Monsters, those types of things.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So those 2 shows were good. I agree with what you're saying. But okay, so right now, anyone who remembers any Cartoon Network show from the Golden Age here in this chat or right now, throw it out. We're throwing them out. Yes, of course.
Yes,
how could we forget Ed? Hi, Ed Boys. You stupid Ed Boys.
If you saw this one tweet I posted where like a really creepy version of 3D Rolf just like.
Oh god.
Yeah,
I saw that too. Yes, I saw that. It's just like
no.
Okay. Rolf is hands down. I know Rolf is hands down my favorite character in Ed and Eddie. Like just because.
Yeah, because he was voiced by Goku, like the same voice that did.
Yes, the first Goku, like not Sean Schemmel, the one who does him now, but the other Goku who voiced him in the Ocean dub. So yes, that was good. And again, like the funny thing about Rolf is they wanted to tell you where he was from. Like it was originally said that he was from Turkey, but because they didn't want to get
his home country was just made up.
Yeah, but what race he is, they wanted to tell you, but they couldn't because then they would get a lot of flack for that. Like that was the limit for them. Like for cartoon,
so
that was cartoon.
Vaguely,
yeah,
like but my home country.
Yes, exactly. Yes, exactly. So I don't know how to describe it, but again, he was arguably the funniest character, especially in his best catchphrase, which is "You dare mock the son of a shepherd!" And I
love that.
Yeah, I remember you remember the episode where the whole cul-de-sac is trying to get this quarter off the ground, and it's like Mjolnir. It won't come off. But when Rolf does it, he's got an aching back, and he's using a cane. So then he's like, "A quarter! This must be Rolf's lucky day." And he's like, "Huh?" And then he's like, "Oh, you have met with resistance, aren't you?"
Beating from Rolf's shoe.
Yes, he takes off his shoe, beats the cord. He's like, "Oh, so one shoe won't do, huh? Then how about 2 shoes?"
2 shoe beating.
And then
picks up
Eddie's shoe.
Was it?
Yeah, Eddie's shoe.
Whatever.
And then he says, "Now you will taste the 3-shoe beating." And he's holding the shoe in his mouth.
Oh my god, he's Zorro with shoes.
Exactly. It was so good. I especially love the episode where he had to fight Eddie in a duel with fish because.
Oh yeah, after Eddie threw the fishbowl, which is like something like traditional in Rolf's home country, and
then Rolf sits down and he tells everyone to step on his face as they get out. And then he said, but then like Double D's like, "Why don't you make?" Ed's like, "You could make cupcakes." And then when they get to the fight, and Eddie's like, "Come on, Rolf, isn't there anything I could do to apologize? If this is true, did you bring the cupcakes of sorriness?" No.
See, I don't honestly remember much about the show. I remember like key things. I never like finished through, watched it consecutively, but like a lot of the stuff, like images and stuff, always burned in my brain. The oversized jawbreakers, the playground activity stuff that they did.
Okay, Ed, Ed, and Eddie was a great show, but it ruined one thing for me: Jawbreakers, because those Jawbreakers that they have are ridiculous. There is
You
no
remember they had Ed, Ed, and Eddie Jawbreakers too. They actually made them. You could go into like Toys R Us.
Yes, I do.
They had those
remember.
multi deals, and they had them. They were like multi-layered.
Yes,
Like it'd be like there's a flavor under a flavor under a flavor, and you're like, huh?
exactly. But damn it, Jawbreakers. Everyone knows Jawbreakers are the size of this.
Well,
But Ed, Ed, and Eddie Jawbreakers.
Because of this at times, I've seen them like about maybe this big, maybe like trying to find a good comparison. Like maybe at least.
Yeah, no,
This little dice right here, they're at least about this size from what I saw.
So like one that you would have to like lick that you couldn't actually physically put in your mouth.
yeah,
that would
exactly.
be kind of cool.
But
actually,
with Ed, Ed, and Eddie, they would just shove the Jawbreakers in their mouth. And
Plastic.
yeah, yes,
teaching
exactly.
kids bad things now.
Exactly. Yes. Exactly. I remember. Okay, my other favorite other characters, of course, the main Eds, which Double D
Can we just,
is
can
my.
we just agree right now? Best character, Plank.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Plank.
I even had my own plank as a kid.
Plank is
I
amazing.
loved Plank.
Wait,
Yes.
you had a Plank. Do you still have it?
Unfortunately, I don't know. I mean, I don't know why.
Wow.
Like
She disowned Plank.
Well, no, actually,
Plank is
okay.
gone.
Talking about Plank, you want to know where Plank is these days? Right now, you want to know where he is right now? He's off. I am dead serious. Someone did this. He's off in Afghanistan fighting. Someone actually made their own custom plank, and they took it with them
no.
to serve in the military. So
Oh my god!
Plank is in the military.
and plank a person from a gunshot.
Yes, yeah. Like I used to be a soldier, but then I took a bullet to my knee.
Here lies Plank.
Yes, here lies Plank. He died as he lived, protecting us.
That would be amazing if they had a whole like spin-off 2 episodes of like the life of Plank.
Yes. The life of Plank. Oh my god. And of course, you had Sarah, Ed's younger sister, that would always scream his name, Ed! You had Jimmy. You had Kevin. Of course, Kevin is famous for Dork and his bike, which was funny. You had you had Naz. You had Naz, Eddie's crush, Eddie and Double D's crush.
She was everyone's crush.
Yes.
Almost everyone. It's
Yes.
just Kevin. I think Johnny too.
Yeah, Johnny too. Like yeah, exactly. I think that's it, right? Like that's all the cul-de-sac kids. Like
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
cool.
The Eds, Jimmy, Sarah, Rolf, Naz,
Kevin, Johnny, and Plank.
Okay, 10. And don't
Yeah.
forget, and don't forget the Trailer Park Girls. The
Oh,
Kanker sisters.
yes, the Kanker sisters. How could I forget them?
Yo. There's something about the movie. I can never look at the Kanker sisters the same way. I forget the one with the ginger hair. What was her name?
Marie. I think that's Marie. No,
Anyone who knows all their names, tell us.
it was May.
Well,
Lee,
I can forget. I can't remember.
Okay, I think Marie's the blue hair. Lee is the orange hair. And
Orange hair. That's the one I'm talking about. There's a spot in the movie where like, her hair like jumps up a bit. Yeah, she's got 3 eyes.
Ah,
Wow.
yes. Rip my childhood.
I'll leave
I
her
don't
alone.
explain why. They're just like, oh yeah, she had hair down there to cover up her one eye.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Yes, the cake. Okay. There are so many great episodes of Ed, Ed, and Eddie. Like Cursed Cowardly Dog, we could just talk about them all
Right.
day.
By the way, going back to like disguising sexual stuff in cartoons.
Mhm.
Do you remember Double D's parents always left like sticky notes around?
yeah.
Yes, I did. They
Yeah.
were very
Yeah,
well organized.
in one episode, I'm not joking. In his bathroom, there was one that said, "Don't touch yourself."
Oh my god!
That's just that's a good 90s thing. They knew teens are watching it, so that's great.
Yes, and oh god, yes, oh my god, yes, and of course they had some great specials too. Does anyone remember the Halloween special where Ed is watching too many movies? Yes, and he's now thinking everyone is
Lothar the Viking.
Yes.
Yeah, Ed thinks that
Or is it Lothar?
whatever people's in the costumes, they think it's the actual monster. Like Naz is Medusa, Johnny's the actual spider. Kevin, the headless horseman.
Plank is a spider. Well, Rolf is some kind of weird creature I can't even name. It's like basically
Frankenstein. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah. Plank is Frankenstein, but he's called Frankenplank.
Yeah.
And so it was so funny. Like and then they're trying to go on a treasure hunt for all the candy, but it turns out it was Ed's brother. Yeah, Eddie's brother planked. I can't say.
Pranking him.
Yeah, pranking him. Thank you. And it was so funny, like to see Ed beat the shit out of his own sister. Sibling abuse, everybody. Yes, so it was so good.
Sarah was supposed. Ed saw that Sarah was a vampire.
Well, that makes sense. That is Sarah. And there was even one theory about Double D that a lot of people had. Like the fact that you never saw what was under his hat. We were supposed to see what was under his hat in the movie. We all know this, but we never saw it. Everyone assumed that he had a penis head under his hat, so that's why.
No, it's easy. His name's Double D. He has boobs under it.
Exactly.
He has boob head. I mean, that's the problem.
Assuming that giant brain that you see bang spots on his head.
Yes, exactly.
That's why there was one.
Yes. There was even one theory that I think this is kind of debunked, but there's one theory that everyone thinks that Double D is a girl. I don't know why. Don't ask me that, but that's wrong because
like
if
his
that
parents lied to him and you're a boy, get some boy
guy
clothes.
that never corrects him.
That would be a great episode, a spin-off episode of like my parents lied to me. I'm a girl all along, and I've been raised as a boy. It'd be kind of hilarious if they had touched on something like that.
And in retrospective, the episode where Sarah has a crush on Double D and wants him to be her boyfriend, which again, that's just creepy. That's kind of weird because then if Double D was a girl,
why is that weird?
What do you mean? Why is that? Okay, first of all, Double D is like older than Sarah. Sarah's like what, 10 or 11?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, because the main Eds are like 13 to 14. Same with the.
They go to middle school.
Yeah, exactly. Well, then in the final seasons, they're actually in high school, so I don't know what the hell that's about. But yes, I loved that. But yes, okay, so we can talk. So yes, but Ed, Edd and Eddy was a great show. Like, holy shit. Like, it's a comedic masterpiece. And everyone's been trying to see if it could get rebooted these days, to which I say, no, don't.
No, leave it alone. The movie ended on a high note.
Yes.
I think the only thing I could criticize about it is I particularly just didn't like the aesthetic of the animation, but that you get used to it. It's not something that like if you didn't like it the first couple episodes or 4 or 5 episodes, then you'll get used to it within the seasons, but it's not amazing and it's not trying to be amazing, but that constant like moving like squiggly line thing can kind of mess with your brain.
Exactly. Yes. Okay. Yes. So that's one down. So yes, that of course, Ed, Edd and Eddy. Then of course we have like one of my favorite shows that I kind of grew out of, but I wouldn't mind revisiting it, is Codename Kids Next Door.
Yeah, I liked it for the most part because
I remember that.
Here's my two things. As a kid, I liked it, but growing up right now, looking back at it, it's dumb because there are a bunch of 10-year-olds. If I were to look at the logical side, like adults, are you serious? You're fighting a bunch of 10-year-olds. Get on with your life. You have jobs.
Exactly. And the fact that these kids have a foundation with unlimited resources that they can build mustard guns. They can build mechs. They can build giant Avenger-style tree houses on their regular house, and they literally have a moon. They have a treehouse on the moon. Where in the movie, if you remember, they used that treehouse to point the moon in the direction.
They slammed the moon into a villain.
Yeah, well, it was Uncle. It was Uncle's father, which we also found out that Uncle is number one's uncle, and that would
his dad's brother.
No, Richard. His name was Father.
Oh, father. Sorry, I thought it
His
was
name
uncle.
was father.
Okay, yes. Well, father is number one's uncle, and that means
Yeah,
the
the
delightful.
villain they slammed the moon into was called Grandfather.
Yes, and that means the delightful children from down the lane. Great name. Are his cousins.
No, they're not. No, they're not because they used to be Kids Next Door members until father turned them into children.
Okay, fair enough. Yes, but yes, like
I don't know about any of this.
yeah, I know. Amber's got a point. Like if okay, adults are fighting children.
And they're talking like when they discuss numbers, they talking like little 4-year-olds. Like I turn into a gajillion % to turn them into this. And when number three goes to visit her, I don't know, grandmother, grandfather, goes on the bullet train, the fucking conductor, when number 3 asks, how fast are we going? The conductor goes, we are going a gajillion miles per hour. Fucking use numbers!
Yes, exactly. That was the problem.
She's very passionate about this. I like this.
Yes.
Grow up.
Looking back on it now, it's ridiculous.
Yes,
Yeah.
no, it doesn't
The
make
bullet
sense.
train goes, what, 200 miles per hour? The guy goes a gajillion miles per hour. The gajillion is not an actual number.
1.21 gigawatts.
Exactly, yeah. Trying to apply logic to Kids Next Door these days, it'll break the show, in my opinion. Like it just because again, that's the thing. When we were kids, yeah, but also too, I remember Kids Next Door doing this to me when I grew up because when we watched it, the point is like if a kid goes past the age of 13, they're automatically disbanded as a kid.
Will immediately turn 13 because
Yes. And when they turned 13, which by the way, number 1 was 12, but when he turned 13, he was immediately off, but then he became a member of the Galactic Kids Next Door, which that's a spin-off series we're never going to see happen. Thanks,
Never
Cartoon
watched
Network.
that.
oh yeah, is that the special where the kids next door got old and we told their story what happened to number 1?
Yeah, that was the last episode, but basically that episode was to set up a new series, which was called Galactic Kids Next Door, that basically more or less was going to make number 1 the villain, and they would have to stop him. And it was supposed to, like, the creator of Kids Next Door wanted it to come back. He pitched it. You can see the animatic finished, and everyone signed the petition. It was sent to Cartoon Network. They took a look at it, and they're like, nope. Again, thanks, you heartless dick bags.
I forgot about this. Galvatrix meant something in comments. He said that that Kids Next Door and Billy and Mandy had a crossover together.
Yes, they
which
did.
I totally forgot about.
And it wasn't just them. Ed and Eddie was included in that as well.
Yes, they
Right.
were.
That's
I
true.
can't remember.
That crossover
briefly-
was what like started my disinterest in Kids Next Door.
Right.
Oh, yes. Like,
Like at one point, Mandy is like pissed off that they're using mustard instead of real like weapons, and that kind of made me realize, oh yeah, that is kind of dumb.
which again,
But that's what's great about Mandy, though, is she's literally like talking to the audience saying, "This is stupid. Why do you
Yeah.
like
I
this?"
read like 2 seconds ago.
exactly, yes. What Amber just said. So again, even though I love Billy and Me, I'm sorry, not Billy. Even though I love Codename Kids Next Door, it was a great show. But the problem with it is, once you grow up and you go back watching it, it doesn't hold up as much as you want it to. But that doesn't mean it's a bad show. It's just when you start to pick things apart, like Amber.
By the way,
What are the villains? The
Can I just
Common
explain?
Cold. The Common
Yes.
Cold. That's one thing that I'm pissed off right now. He has the common cold every day. I'm surprised he's not quarantined so he doesn't like infect everyone else.
Holy shit, that's right. Yeah, one of their villains, the Common Cold, like, yeah, his main thing is he gets you sick.
I'm
And
surprised that no one even quarantined him.
well, again, we have established that every
Hey,
adult.
can I just
Sure, go ahead.
explain something I brought up earlier?
What?
So Ed and Eddie being involved in that crossover, it was just Billy saying, "Oh, there's only one group of kids that can help me now." He calls Ed and Eddie, and they're just like, "Oh, you got a problem? We'll fix it for 1 quarter." What do you mean you're broke? Look, if you're looking for charity, call Kids Next Door. They're cheap. Hangs up on him.
Sums up.
That is it.
Again, that sums up Kids Next Door perfectly. They're cheap. I'm sorry, but yes. No. So yeah, Kids Next Door, not a bad show. We enjoyed it for a time, but yeah, you apply logic to it and you break everything down. Holy shit, it becomes less enjoyable. So that's why I haven't gone back to it.
And another thing that pisses me off, the fucking ice cream, they only selling it to adults, never kids. Kids are like the only thing that they'll get ice cream. They'll pay like 2 cents to get. Why would they sell ice cream to just adults?
Yes, I know. Yes, I agree. And the fact that, okay, there is that one episode where number 1 became an adult because of an adult Ray, and he gets a job as an ice cream man, but he tells them, like, look, I don't deliver ice cream to kids. Even though, like Amber just said, ice cream men deliver ice cream to both adults and kids. What the fuck is with this universe? So does that mean I have to wait until I'm 14 to get an ice cream? What the fuck?
Unless their brilliant plan was to like only sell to adults and like rich adults because they know they have money. Like it's this evil plan to like get like they have bills. Children only have. Well, see, that's the thing.
Okay, I can prove that's wrong because I have over $100 fucking dollars in my wallet right now, and I just got an ice cream guy who comes around my neighborhood, and he fucking sell to me an ice cream. So what the fuck is wrong with you? Damn it!
I guess at the end of the way of business, it's not smart on their end because they should be wanting to sell to whoever.
Exactly.
We're trying to apply logic to a cartoon.
I know, right?
Yes.
And there's another thing I want to apply logic to. The delightful trumpet down the lane. Whenever they have a birthday party, they invite the kids, but when it's time for cake, they don't give them any cake. Why bother inviting kids if you're not going to share your birthday cake?
Yes, birthday cake and ice cream are illegal to kids. So it's like pot, basically.
So it's hell. Okay.
Yeah, that sums about up. So yes, but okay. So anyway, we're done talking about Codename Kids Next Door. Now
I don't want to rant anymore. I'm losing oxygen.
I know. Yes. Okay. So let's talk about
we're on Amber Alert then.
Oh my God! Please stop. Okay. We also have Billy and Mandy, which almost all of us like. Almost all of us.
Here it comes.
Terrible show.
Dun dun dun.
It was all right for the most part.
Oh,
It
good.
was
I'm
awful.
kidding.
For me, what was so refreshing about the show, and not just the art style, was the fact that they twisted it around. You had Grimm, who's goofy and silly after he reveals himself.
Yes, and he's ridiculously over and underpowered at the same time.
Which is so great. And then you have Mandy, who's the kind of just like, she's just over it. So she looks suicidal for every episode. Like she just wants to die. And that's what's so great about it is like, it's like they took the idea, oh, what if we gave what the Grim Reaper's, personality should be and put it in a little girl and put the little girl's personality in the Grim Reaper. And that's
so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it is. But see, the problem with that is like, okay, in the pilot, in the first season, Mandy actually had personality. Like she had. But then over the course of season 2, that's when, like you said, she became more dark and edgy. Like she wanted to die and she just wanted to rule the world. And of course,
so refreshing. We had a little bit of that with Powerpuff Girls, a certain of them, being like, with Buttercup being a little bit more edgy. Yeah. But never like full on having a dark child like that. We've never really saw. It was kind of refreshing to see that.
Yeah, and Billy was to her best friend. With Billy was her slave. Right. Billy was. Yeah, exactly. And okay, well, it's funny, yes, because again, Billy Mandy was an awesome cartoon, even though Jar brought up some good points about how it was too disgusting and out there. But again, I like that kind of stuff. But
that would have been 1,000 times better if it had no Billy. If Billy was fucking dead. If it was just the Grim Reaper, would have been a great show.
Yeah, Billy's kind of, let's just face it, like there's some funny moments, some horrible stuff she does to him that's funny as a result.
Yeah.
But him himself, he's not funny. Like you put him in a room alone, it's just annoying. So it kind of feels like
this is
every show has a character like that, right?
This
like
is this is a character who would constantly show his ass or twerk before twerking was even a thing. So Billy is the one who started twerking.
God, he did.
Yes.
Somebody can replace everything that's Miley Cyrus with
Billy's
Billy
ass.
with
Yes.
his ass
That's
sticking
the next head of Miley Cyrus's body.
Yes, exactly. It's like Billy was very annoying. I'll give you that.
You know, I remember there was this episode where they were like time hopping, and it ends with Billy with the like time control remote. He winds up going back to like the Stone Age. It gets broken. He meets like a cave girl.
No,
And then flashes back to the future. He's still there, but everyone has like a Billy nose and fucking
Yeah, no,
morons.
that was the episode with Fred Flintstone. Like they actually crossed over.
No, that wasn't it.
Oh, okay, sorry. Well then, yes,
The
but
Fred Flintstone one was that when they just find him buried under a house with ice.
and then he's put in ice again. But Billy is also put in ice again. So Billy is still alive, whereas we don't know what happened. Grim can't die. Grim is practically fucking immortal, so he can't die.
Well,
Yeah,
he's
Yeah, exactly. Whereas Mandy, I don't know what happened to her. Which, okay, speaking of that, so Beetle 5 pointed this out to me the day I met him. There is actually a fan comic. It's a well-detailed, well-written comic where Mandy's grown up, she's married Grim, and they rule hell together. Yes!
I
Mandy,
remember him bringing that up as well, yeah.
yeah, Mandy and Grim are married and rule the underworld together. We don't know what happened.
They were having spawn together.
Yeah, I would say they had children.
how would you have children with the Grim Reaper though without dying? Like,
Well, technically,
as soon as his junk touches you, you're dead.
Grim could
No, I
just
remember that thing in the Family Guy episode.
yeah, exactly. Well, Grim could just conjure
True.
up children. He could just make children.
It's just such a weird. It almost feels like a weird fan fiction. Someone's just like, "Yeah, I always saw them together. Now allow me to ship them." It's like, no. Why is that a thing? Death and this little girl? No.
Yes.
Sorry, I just saw something funny in the chat. Billy Bob just posted, "I only just got here and people are talking shit about me."
Oh, not you, Bill Bob, the other Billy. Yes, but okay. Yes.
You know, there's also a spin-off, Hector Con Carne.
Yeah, that was actually Hector Con Carne. Yes, I love that show. Like, okay,
Because I remember when I first saw Billy and Mandy, like its intro, you can see, well, Bosco's head with Hector's brain next to Grim's head. They would just like do some sort of monologue or whatever, and they just go backwards and start laughing.
yes, exactly. Like the main villain's brain was put into a bear,
A circus bear.
Yes, and his intestines, his stomach, which can also talk, was put into the bear's stomach. Jesus.
By the way, can I just say, Richard, it's funny that you brought up Beetle 5 and that thing you told us, because he's in the chat right now.
Oh, hi, Beetle. How you doing, man?
Why am I not here?
Richard.
He said he will not stand for this. We'll talk about it later, Beetle 5. I'm sorry.
He says, I love Billy and Mandy.
We did it. Look,
Love
I
it.
didn't know. These podcasts are unpredictable, Beetle. Sometimes people show up. Sometimes people don't show up. It's not within my control. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'll make it up to you. Don't worry. Anyway.
Hector Con Carne.
Yes, Hector Con Carne. General Scar I like too. Like General Scar was pretty cool.
How long did that show last? Was that show a season or two? Or
I think it was. Yeah, it was just probably 1 or 2 seasons.
okay, because I'm not familiar. I mean, I'm familiar with it, but I never actually watched the episodes. So
Yes.
And then Scar made his way to Billy and Mandy as Billy's next door neighbor.
Yeah. Exactly. Yes.
wow. Okay.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to check this out now. If I can get this on digital, I gotta watch these now.
Hell yeah, man. Okay, so yes, Billy and Mandy, another great show. Okay, even though Jaru doesn't like it, which is fine. It's fine.
Oh, he hates
Nobody
it.
Yeah, nobody killed Jaru. Well, then again, you can't kill Jaru, so there's that. Jaru, you don't kill Jaru. Jaru kills you.
So he's just like Grimm then.
Huh?
Sure. My Jamaican accent's not the best, but hey, I'll do my
Yes. Oh my god. But wait, my favorite. I forgot to mention one of my favorite characters in Billy Mandy was hands down Haas Delgado. Yes, my name is Haas. Okay, he was Haas Delgado was a bounty hunter that went around capturing dimensional creatures.
Oh, was he the ginger guy with the eye patch?
Yeah, the ginger.
Yes.
And,
Robot
like-
arm.
Prostate.
Robot arm.
Well,
Robot.
what was
Yes.
the hat, I think?
Super
Yeah, it
bounty
was a-
hunter cliche guy.
Yes, exactly. And fun
Yeah.
fact, so if you ever wanted to see Batman become a full of himself bounty hunter, then you have Haas Delgado. And that statement couldn't be more ironic. It couldn't be more ironic. Okay, so yes, next show. Jesus, weird.
Well, because even though the show ended last year, this show came out at least in the early 2000s. It was Samurai Jack.
Yes, we're gonna get.
Yeah.
I was saving. You all know.
Because what I'm doing right now, we're going to shows in year order, when it first came out. What
We
year
can
first
talk.
came out.
No, that's all right. We can talk about it. Okay, yeah, Samurai Jack.
Yeah, and because the next one is Samurai Jack. It came out in
Oh.
2000.
Okay,
Cool.
everyone, but you're only made because you're only made. You have not seen it, right?
I've never even seen the
I
last.
saw it when I was younger, but don't really remember much.
Okay, the last season.
Yeah, I've never even seen the last season. I saw bits of it.
Okay. I'm not gonna get in. Oh shit. Okay, I won't get into it because if I do, all the Samurai Jack season 5 haters and lovers will come into this chat and flood us with tons of things they did or did not like. So we must avoid this.
That's fine. Bring it on. No, just kidding.
Yeah.
The first four seasons, the 5 last. The 5 last.
Wait a minute. Oh wait, Jar, you've never seen season 5. Okay, good. We're good.
No, but I have
Okay,
seen
I'm the only one.
Okay, how about we just not talk about season 5 because I've never seen it.
Yes.
A lot of people have never
You
seen
can
it.
get
or they love it.
If anyone wants to see season 5, you can go buy it on Blu-ray and you can go buy it on digital. Okay, there, done. We're not talking about season 5. No one mentioned season 5. Okay.
What
First four-
Season 5.
Yes, first 4. Yes, okay. Holy fucking shit! Where do we even be? Oh my god, Samurai Jack.
Samurai Jack is a fantastic series. I've made almost as many videos about Samurai Jack as I have about Death Battle. And
Yes.
Right.
that's
Yeah, I
actually-
remember really liking it. I just don't remember a lot of it.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Well, just like the other shows, it wasn't. It was random. There was
I
no
forgot
main.
a lot of stuff from my childhood.
It's all right. There wasn't
I
any.
enjoy it.
Yeah, there wasn't a main story, so you could watch any episode out of order. It wouldn't really matter. But the main thing was,
Yeah, that's what's great about the show is that it had storytelling, but even though the art style is what pulls you in because it's so.
oh
unique
my
at the time.
god,
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
yes,
Absolutely.
hands down, yes. I don't care what anybody says. I'm sorry. I don't care if it's action or comedy. It doesn't matter. Samurai Jack, hands down, had the best animation of them all because of how
Oh
it
yeah,
was.
I remember the animation being absolutely amazing.
It was literally if Western animation and Japanese animation had a baby together, and this would be that baby. It's so beautiful to look at. Every frame is like a portrait you could hang on your wall.
Well, in that respect, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of an animated version of Into the Badlands, of what Into the Badlands is now, which is it gets you in with style, but then as you watch, you get substance, which is what I love.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. You guys don't. Nobody in this chat watches AMC, but me and Ethan. So you won't get that reference.
If some of you in chat who've probably seen Into the Badlands, you'll know what I mean by that reference, where it's just this post-apocalyptic kung fu style. It's all flash and pizzazz, but when you really get into it in just one episode, you realize it has really in-depth characters and story, and that's what Samurai Jack's always been that for me. Where it was something that really got you immersed into this world.
Yes.
But it started with the art first, and as you got into it, you really got into the character and the world itself.
Yes, and the fact that the episode, like, Jack is a man of few words, so like voicing, but the fact that he has so much personality, he's three-dimensional, but he doesn't even talk that much of the time. See, that's another thing Cartoon Network took a huge big risk on, is like, okay, cartoons always have to get your attention back then. They had to. But Samurai Jack didn't. It went against that. It could get your attention just by looking at it instead of characters talking. That's what was so great about it.
I think he's laughing at the same comment I just read.
Yeah.
I think he's read the Yang says, no need to Samurai Jack all over it, Rich.
I am like, this is it is. I can talk about this show all fucking day and it wouldn't get old.
Okay, who said it? I'm gonna like.
Yes,
Oh,
exactly.
nice. Yes, pull out those katanas.
Yes, exactly. Like, and of course, okay, so how could we forget arguably one of the best Cartoon Network villains? I am the Shogun of Sorrow, the Sorcerer Supreme.
Right.
I am Aku. That is the best Aku voice I can do. Okay, Aku as a villain. Good God. He was... Yes. Okay. Yes. Especially the episode where you think he's ordering pizza and it just turns out to be a henchman. But the way he does is like, yes, I can hold. So it's like, hi, I like to order a what? I'm in the computer. Yes, that's it. I like a large what?
Ooh, so
extra thick. There it is. There's the extra thick reference.
Oh, Nancy, I want to go goes for pizza right now. I want to go to Pizza Hut right now.
Right? Everyone, yes, everyone say your extra thick lines. Yes. Okay,
Oh,
well, okay.
by the way,
So
not to get off
speaking
topic, Jar just put something in the chat. Samurai
Okay,
Jack
well-
is Fist of the North Star if it wasn't trash.
oh,
highly
yes,
agreed.
good. Okay, thank God.
Thank-
Do
I'm just gonna say I do not plan on watching Fist of the North Star. No way.
Thank
It's
God.
not worth your time.
No, thank
Yeah.
God. Okay, thank God Duo Dreamer is not here right now because I'm pretty sure.
You just look up a GIF of Fist of the North Star, and you've encapsulated the entire show.
My problem,
Oh,
my
yeah.
problem with Fist of the North Star is I feel like most people that love it are the people that just like hugely filled testosterone, like people who like anime like Dragon Ball Z and still defend Dragon Ball Z as being a great show to this day when in fact it's not. I feel a lot of people are like that. Like it has art, like unique art, but like if you want to see a post-apocalyptic film like that, just go watch Mad Max.
Yes.
Forget.
Okay,
You know?
well, I guess this is an insight into what our anime podcast part 2 will be like. Then, so that was good. But no, yes, exactly, yes, but no,
These are the
Samurai.
opinions I wanted to hear today.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so Samurai Jack.
I'm really not gonna want to be in the Fist of the North Star talk.
No. Duo Dreamer will.
I'm
will
not saying I
will
hate
liter-
Fist of the North Star or anything. Just something about it, just no.
Confirmed he hates Fist. No, just kidding.
If I say my opinions on Fist of the North Star, I feel like Duo Dreamer is going to call me and tell me what the fuck is wrong with me. So for my own,
Evil Conqueror.
yeah. Anyway,
will
so
find
yes, and he will kill me. Yeah. So anyway, okay, Samurai Jack. What can we say about? I don't even think there's anything to say other than it was a great cartoon. It rarely had any bad episodes. See, that's the thing. Like in those first 4 seasons, there's not that many episodes that are bad. There are just some good episodes. And, it was action packed. It had great animation. The music. Oh my God, the music was so fucking good. And of course,
Back to the past. and-
yeah, Will I Am. Back to the past.
Will I Am?
Yeah, that was
Okay.
Will I Am.
I love Samurai Jack. I'll defend it till the end of time. That song is terrible. Just throwing it out there. I'm sorry.
Uh-oh.
That's like,
Oh, boy.
don't get me wrong. I love the show. It's one of the best Cartoon Networks has ever done. But that song is terrible.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, those are
okay.
songs too. One of those songs where when it came out would sound interesting, and then you go back on it. Like some of the music in the Scooby Doo movies, you're just like, "Ooh, it wasn't as good as I remember."
No.
They're very much so a product of the time.
Yeah.
Beetle 5, if you're Beetle 5, you're calling me right now. I can't answer, man. I'm sorry. I know what you're trying to do. I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do. Jesus Christ. Okay, fine. Tell you what, Beetle 5. If anyone wants Beetle 5 in this chat right now, let us know. Like, just let us know if you.
Nope.
Wait.
No, I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Damn, that was quick.
I'll leave it up to the people. Okay, fine. If you want Beetle 5 in this chat right now in this call, press B. If we get enough, then I'll invite
Or
him. If you don't,
hashtag bring in Beetle 5. That's what I
yeah,
just
there you
put.
go. It doesn't matter. Just let me know. Anyway, so yes, Samurai Jack, very good stuff. Very good stuff. Oh, and of course, fun fact about Samurai Jack. This is kind of a personal thing for me, but I am actually friends with his voice actor, his second voice actor.
Bullshit.
I am. He follows me on Twitter. We've talked. He's awesome.
No.
If we ever do a Samurai, I've been trying to get an interview with him. So if we ever do a Samurai Jack podcast, I'll get him in here. Like he's
Twitter
extremely
is
nice.
a great way to get in touch
I
with
would-
a lot of people and
I
creators.
would definitely remarathon Samurai Jack for that.
Yes. Okay. Then there we go. Then, but yes. So now that we have discussed the samurai, let us move on.
Well, there's like other shows.
Oh, sorry. Go.
There's like other shows that we have yet to mention because either we don't remember it or we never watched it. But the shows that like came from the early 2000s, because I was gonna go to the next show that came out in 2004, but I was looking back and I saw there's a few shows that are like still like in the early 2000s, like Mike, Lou, and Og, Justice League, and Whatever Happened to Robot Jones.
Oh yeah, Robot Jones. I forgot
Robot
about
Jones.
that.
Yes, Robot Jones. Okay, yes, all those shows were very good. Like, what happened to Robot Jones? Like, see, that's the thing.
It only lasted
Yeah,
for like
I think I remember that one, yeah.
It got canceled.
a year. That's why I saw it went from 2002 to 2000.
Yeah,
Who's
it did
the,
not
who's the
last long.
creator of that though? Wasn't that like a well-known?
Okay, so bad news. The link is not working, so I can't bring Beetle 5 in here. So here's what I'm going to do. He's trying to call me, so hold on.
So let's kill him.
It's been acting weird all day, anyways.
Yes, exactly. The things I do for everyone, just let it be known. This is the things I do. But anyway, let's continue until I can get him in here. All right,
Yeah,
hold on, Beetle 5.
Before we leave Samurai Jack, I'll go ahead. Some self-promotion. I will be starting a new series on my channel soon, and the first subject of the series is going to be Samurai Jack. So,
Woo!
Nice. Awesome.
Yes. Promote that shit.
yeah.
Promote that shit.
Hashtag big bucks. Like, give
Yes, exactly.
me
All
that
right.
YouTube cat.
Real quick,
Yes.
who remembers Mike, Lou, and Og?
I do not.
I know.
I barely remember it.
All right. All right. Live on speaker is Beetle 5. Say hello, Beetle 5. Beetle 5. Oh, shit.
Nope,
Beetle.
I stepped on him. Whoops.
All right, there you go. You're on speaker. Can everyone hear you? Can everyone hear him?
Hello, am I being heard?
Yeah, I can
Yeah,
barely. Yeah, I
hello.
can.
Hello?
They can hear you.
Hello, hello.
Heard.
They can hear you. They can hear you, Beetle.
Hello?
Okay, Beetle. Seriously, Beetle. They are yelling at you. They can hear you.
Nope, can't hear him.
How is everyone? Can't hear anybody else.
They're fine. So apologies, man. I couldn't get you in here. I tried. I'm sorry.
I
Wait.
do want to thank you, though, for making me the prime topic of a live stream.
No problem.
He's pretty deep voice for a beetle.
I was thinking the same
Yeah.
thing.
Yes. Okay. Everyone.
We stayed temporarily. Just let me introduce to you a cartoon that probably no one's ever remembered in years and years to come. Super Robot Monkey Team Hyperforce Go.
I know
Oh
it.
my-
I know it.
I forgot about that.
That's like Jetix, wasn't it?
That's fake.
Okay. Amber
That's a
remembers it. Amber and 8-Bit Misfit remember it.
Unfortunately.
I love
Wasn't that like a Jetix show?
the most
Yeah.
stereotypical Japanese name.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh god, it was wonderful, and unlike most other shows, it concluded. I think it concluded.
I believe so.
I
Yes.
don't know. It was on Jetix. Yeah, it was.
Very nice. Very nice. Beetle 5, thank you so much for bringing that up. You're the
I'm
highlight of
glad
this.
you brought that up. Yeah, because I didn't even think about those.
Always a pleasure.
Yes, everyone thank Beetle and say goodbye to him.
Nice
Next-
talking to you, man. Thanks for this.
Thank you, Beetle, so much.
Oh,
Yes, we will have you on another one. I promise. Just give me time.
thank you.
No
I'll
problem. No,
make him do it.
bye. Very nice.
Hello, Potato Reviews. Thank you for joining the chat. Ghostbusters 2016 was the best film of all time. Thank you for that. I really appreciate you bringing that up.
I am for it.
TJ, man, how you doing?
TJ's in the chat. Welcome, buddy.
Nice to see from you, TJ. But yes, okay. So those cartoons were good. Okay, so there was another cartoon like there. This is where we're kind of getting into underrated, obscure territories. If I'm the only one who remembers this, then so be it. Megas XLR. Yes, yes. There we go.
I can't say anything on that.
Okay.
To clarify, he did not say Mega Sex LR. He said Mega
No.
X.
Right.
Yes. Okay.
Still
That's
never
the
heard
plan.
of
All
it.
right. So if anyone wants to know what the hell is Megas XLR, basically, okay, instead of trying to tell you the whole plot because it's very ridiculous and you just need to see it to believe it, just imagine this. Imagine Terminator, Future Wars, New Jersey, giant robots, giant mech robots, and wrestling, video games, and cars if they all came together in a Western anime type style.
So Detroit, how it is now. Okay. I'm in. I'm in.
RoboCop on that shit.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Yes, okay. Like it was based on a mech that was from the future that got tricked out in modern day by this stereotype in New Jersey, which by the way, this cartoon takes place in New Jersey, and it's retricked and owned by this stereotypical fat guy who all he thinks about is food, wrestling, and video games. So basically Adult Swim's audience. And I do not regret making that joke. You won't, and to all the people who will try to come kill me, just be warned. I have a way out. I'm just
The
letting you
people
know.
that disagree with that comment are younger kids who are watching Adult Swim now, thinking like,
Yes.
that it's good when they didn't see how it began.
Exactly. Yes, but it is so underrated. I there's not much to talk about it because I still haven't finished watching it, but it's so underrated. Nobody's ever heard of it. And second of all, it never got released on DVD, nor has it been rerun on Cartoon Network because they can't do it.
I was gonna say I haven't heard of it either. Like I haven't tell what you're telling me. I'm not getting flashbacks of this particular thing. Like I can't say I love it or hate it. It's not one of those things. I'm not aware of it.
I know. You can watch the first full season because it only lasted 2 seasons. It was canceled due to low viewings, and then it was never brought back. But in 2012, there was a trend to bring it back. But again, like Cartoon Network always loves to do, with Courage the Cowardly Dog, with Codename Kids Next Door, and now Megas XR, they said no. So it never got its time in the to shine. But I would highly recommend you guys go watch it. Again, if you like action cartoons, well, then you'll like this one. It's pretty good. So, yeah.
Here's another one. I don't know if anyone wants to mention. Who remembers Time Squad?
Yes, Time Squad. Okay.
If you want to learn some history for your next book report, there you go.
Yes. Okay. Yes. It was so good. Like, in my opinion, this was actually the first Cartoon Network show that Mark Hamill actually got to be in because he played one of the characters.
Ooh.
I like it. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Wait, so all the more reason to check all this stuff out. Because...
Yes, exactly. Yes, Marky Mark was in it.
And the Funk Punch too.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. I don't even know how to describe Time Squad, but yeah, okay. Now let's move on to one show we haven't mentioned that all of us at one point know. We still know it. It's still going on today. Ben 10.
Yeah.
I loved that so much back in the day.
We're going to talk about the first Ben 10. Not
Yes, no, we're not going to talk about Alien Force. We're not going to talk about Ultimate
Yeah.
Alien. We're
Is
not gonna
anyone
talk
here
about-
like a huge Ben 10 fan? Because I might piss you off right now. I didn't know you were, honestly, Richard.
I
I
enjoyed
hate Ben 10. I hate it because it's such a flimsy premise to me. I don't understand it. Like, So he has a friggin' watch and he can morph into alien races. Like I'm just like, okay.
Well, to be fair, it was made by this high-Q genius from outer space that he gathered all the DNA from all of these aliens and put them into the watch, then sent it off to be worn by someone who the watch deemed worthy, and then therefore that watch would attach itself onto somebody and they would use its powers for good to try and save the universe, although on some occasions it can be used for villainy.
So it's like a Spider-Man symbiote thing.
Yeah, actually, yeah. It is definitely like that. Yes. So, yeah, so, okay.
I enjoyed Ben 10 growing up. However, watching it today, I'd probably give it like a 4.
I'm not sure if I would enjoy
maybe
it
a 5.
I watched it now.
Yeah, that's probably why I didn't enjoy it because when it was airing, I was a little older at that point where I was kind of there was to the point where I was criticizing stuff I liked, like Dragon Ball Z. So I probably it didn't do it for me.
Yes, exactly. Okay, yeah. So, like Amber said, we're not gonna have time to talk about the other shows or even the reboot. I don't know why I'm at
all the live action, the gold live action movies.
Oh yes. Okay. Well, actually, we can talk about one of the live action movies because Ben 10 did have a live action movie. Everyone.
I think
It had multiple.
No, it only had 2. Just 2.
Didn't it have? Okay, so
Yeah,
one was on one on the network, right? And the other one went to video, or were they both on the network?
They were both on the network and
Okay.
then went to video. Okay, yeah. So yeah, the first one. The first one.
You know, it's funny. I actually met one of the cast members from the first one who played.
Are
Ben
you
10,
serious?
Yeah, it's funny. I was like, "Hey, you're the Ben 10 kid," and he's like, "Hey, thanks for remembering me on that of all things." Because he's now like he's in Teen Wolf and all that stuff now. Like he's
What?
He's in Teen Wolf. He was in a gay short film for a cinema thing that I went to years back. So he's been in other like drama and stuff. He's actually good. But like when I only remember him in my head as young Ben 10, and that's how I introduced myself was, "Hey, you're Ben 10," and he was just like, "I want to kill you now."
But yes, that movie. Okay, so the fun thing about that movie, if you look up the images of the monster of the aliens designs, yeah. So here's what they could do. They only had enough budget because again, Cartoon Network does not have a studio-sized budget. They only had enough budget to do 4 of his aliens, just 4, and one made up.
Heat Blast, Grey Matter, Diamond Head,
and Wild Mutt.
Oh, that was the last one, really? Oh, damn.
Yeah, and one new original one that would eventually be made canon. So yeah. We don't want to talk about the second one. You want to know why we don't want to talk about the second one? It's even worse.
Is that possible?
Yes. Okay. Imagine Terminator. Imagine Ben 10 if he was in Terminator Salvation and Death Race, and also about the aliens. Guess how many they used in the second one?
I'm gonna guess lower than 4.
Remember.
I
You
never
got
seen
me.
the movie, so
2.
2.
I know
Just 2.
I know
Only 2.
lower than 4.
Oh, and by
Was
the
that
way,
for budgetary reasons, or was the film cut down, or
I don't know. It's never been explained.
that's strange. The
CGI also looked worse. It looked very worse.
That's probably what it was then. It was
too, unlike in the first movie where the 3 aliens talked, in the second one they don't talk. Like they don't talk at all. So yeah, it was very bad. But yeah, so Ben 10. I agree. Like it was good back then. I had the Omnitrix. I loved it, but going back to it, it's kind of a little dated in some areas. I will say though, the theme song was the best. I like the theme song. Yes.
So
I don't remember the theme song. So that shows how much of an effect it had on me, I guess.
I would love to play it. I would love to play it right now, but for copyright reasons, I will not. So there you go. Okay, so another.
Okay, what
I
about
know.
how about because like I said, I'm gonna try and go as like in like year order when it first came out. Either Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends or Hi Puppy I'm Yumi Show because they both.
Okay. Oh. Well, if we do Foster's, then there's going to be a little confession about that.
He doesn't like it, and I do. I'll just tell you right now.
Okay. Whoa. Hold on. Okay.
I like
First of all. Okay. Okay. I love Wilt. Wilt is good. I love Wilt. I love the concept. Lauren Faust and Craig McCracken, husband and wife duo, working on it. That's good.
Mhm.
It had good animation, but the problem with it was
With the Disney charm.
Okay. Oh god. Blue was an asshole. I didn't like Blue. She.
I remember he turned into an asshole over time.
Yeah, but Cheese.
Yeah, cheese.
Oh god, Cheese. Why?
I like cereal. That's all I remember from him.
Eduardo's my favorite.
Okay, yeah, Eduardo. I love Eduardo, Wilt, and Coco. They were good. I like them.
I remember one in particular episode for some reason was when they're throwing a house party and they're trying to get back.
Yeah.
There was like Frankie in the bush. He sees Eduardo on a bicycle and he goes, "Hola, Frankie." I mean, hola, Frankie.
And that's the episode where
I
Mac
remember
got.
laughing at that particular scene so much.
And of course, how could we forget that episode where Mac is exposed to soda and
that was the same episode.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, like, he had a sugar high.
Yeah, it was the same
and
episode.
I
There's nothing
know.
wrong with your sugar.
I know, yes. Oh god, it was so crazy.
That show's like one of those. What I liked about it, it had, well, the art style very unique in itself, but it had compared to other shows on that network at the time, but then it also had like a weird kind of like a childhood like pop-up book type of feel to it. Like with its wackiness, almost a little Dr. Seussian, but not too over the top with its wackiness, which is what I kind of appreciated about it. I think if that show had gone on a little bit longer, it could have really evolved into something interesting too. It's just it didn't last that long.
Hey guys,
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, no, I mean, I don't mind Foster's. It's just I don't know. I never grew into it, and just I never stayed married to the property.
Right.
I don't know why. I don't know. I mean, I like shows like that, but this one just felt just off to me. I did like the movie though. The movie was pretty good.
I never saw the movie. That I never did see.
I know. Yeah.
They seem to make a lot of movies to things that I liked that I never actually saw.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yes, but Hi Puffy Ami Numi, we can talk about that. Because I don't know how many. Once again, just like I said, if like Cartoon Network really loved those two girls and their band, so that's why they decided to give them their own show because of the. They literally got that their own show just because of Teen Titans. That's it. That's the whole reason they got the show.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was.
By the way.
What was that?
Oh, I was gonna say, should we talk about Teen Titans next?
Oh yeah, we're saving that. We're building up to it because I know everyone in that chat. If we're gonna talk about Teen Titans, it's gonna be the right one, not.
Oh God.
Not that one. Okay. Yes. But,
Yeah. Oh, we got people bringing that one up too in chat about the new one about Go too, which I'm just like, really? Is there people in here that like Go? I mean, by all means.
yeah. There's.
Yeah,
Yes, but okay. Well, do you have anything, Amber? Do you have anything you remember about Hi? I can't remember anything. I remember watching it, but I
remember a few things. I know that their manager, I don't remember his name. He is a greedy son of a bitch.
Huh?
Oh yeah. Okay.
And I remember this one episode where when I think it was Yumi's the one with purple hair, right?
Yes, Yumi was the one with purple hair.
Yeah. Either Ami or Yumi, I don't know. I think Yumi broke his guitar, and then I think the manager, I think his name is Kaz, went to the stage, tells everyone to leave, and tells the girls that what's happening is they're experiencing bad luck. And it's pretty funny because that really minds me.
Okay, I remember that episode. I do remember that.
But Yumi But Yumi Taz has been eating paste again.
Oh God.
What? He's a grown man eating paste? What is he, in kindergarten?
Right?
And also where Ami wants to meet her pen pal, who she thought was actually from Paris, France. But the person's from Paris, Idaho.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, and
yeah, I honestly can't comment on too much because I don't really remember it either in the like vivid images or anything.
Yeah. So yeah. Okay. So your only mate is not back, but hopefully when he does come back, he can give his opinion. So yes. We've been building up to it. We've been building.
Not a lot about High Puppy Yummy. So we can go ahead to Teen Titans.
Yeah. Let's talk about Teen Titans, everyone. Let's talk about
the franchise that broke my heart.
You see Cartoon Network one last time. Do you see this? You see this? Your only mate just left. Oh no. Technical difficulty. It's okay. He has the link. He can join back. But yes, like that Teen Titans, not Teen Titans Go.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay.
Oh,
we were just.
Where'd you go?
I had to change different rooms. Also, my lighting in here isn't as good, so I'm turning my camera off.
It's okay.
It's all good.
Yeah. You're just in time. Your only mate. We're talking about Teen Titans, the good one, not the bad.
Teen Titans.
Yeah. Okay.
With the awesome opening and theme song.
Who to call?
I got
Teen Titans
to that theme song thanks to Raven being put in
that. Teen Titans. Yes. When the bad guy's on the run.
You know what makes me why I love Teen Titans? It has a weird nostalgic feel to the time. It feels like something that would have came out in the 60s. Like a duo group thing. It feels like it.
Which is appropriate because there was a Teen Titans cartoon in the 60s, but it just didn't have Robin in it. And Starfire wasn't invented yet.
Which it's evident in like the color coding, like what they do with the opening and stuff, with the splash of the green and the yellow and all that stuff. Like it has that style, that flashiness to it. But then just the dynamic in the episodes feels like
it looks retro. I totally get what you're saying. Yeah, like okay, of all the DC cartoons that came out, which again we know, Static Shock, Justice League Unlimited, the Batman, even there were 5 Cartoon Network DC shows. And Teen Titans stood out among them all for its animation and just how it literally. Oh, sorry.
Hey,
sorry, I was going to say.
Hey, look at that.
You're late. Hello. You are late.
I told you I was at a wrestling show.
I know, but I didn't think it would be that. Never mind. You missed a lot.
I missed a lot.
Have you been okay? Well, we'll fill you in later. But right now, we're just talking about Teen Titans, the good one, not the bad one.
Okay, good. I came just.
Yes,
he said.
Yes,
good. I came right in when I needed to.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
No, like a lot of people on Discord are saying like the podcast needs me, and I'm like, what do you mean they need me? They don't.
We've had a couple people in there.
Don't
pay
attention to them. Ignore them entirely.
Yeah,
you guys are doing just fine without me. You guys are doing just fine without me. I just finished my wrestling show, and then I decided, you know what? Let me just stop by and say hi and join.
Yes.
Awesome.
We all said you wrestled the moon. Did you win against the moon, or did the moon? Jar said the moon would beat you.
Sorry.
Let's just say that the moon didn't beat me, but someone else did.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. So yes,
he tried to fight the moon, but wasn't worthy.
Yeah, wasn't worthy. I wasn't worthy with the moon, so I had to wrestle a guy who is a strongman back in the 60s, and he beat me.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Strong man.
Yes.
But, yeah. So
Teen Titans.
You brought up Static Shock. You want to see a cartoon that is aged poorly? Static Shock.
Oh yeah, like okay.
Never heard of it.
My friend is DC superhero. Okay, my friend Captain Avoid, he said it best. If you wanted a show to represent black culture and the hood, then you watch Static Shock. And
I can't comment on that.
That was a
But
good show.
you know how I said the Samurai Jack intro song was dated and very much part of the 90s?
oh god, Static Shock song.
Static Shock is if you made a show out of the Samurai Jack theme song. That's how
Superhero
Static Shock. Woo!
Well, it's
Anyway,
like a lot of people like the X-Men opening too from that's very 90s too, but I feel like that like
That is the definition.
Static Shock didn't have a very memorable opening though, did it? Like
No.
anyway.
Not really.
It got stuck in your head, especially when they got Little Bow Wow to sing the song and got Little
That was
Bow
Little Bow
Wow.
Wow?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
he-
isn't that more in tune with like it got stuck in your head in the way like the DK rap does on the N64?
Yeah,
where it's not a
exactly.
good song,
The
but it's
first.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
okay, the first opening to Static Shock.
Like,
no.
it's-
Well, no, hold on. The first opening to the first 2 seasons of Static Shock was pretty decent, but then they brought in Little Bow Wow, who actually made a cameo and appeared in the actual show twice, and they made him do that, so that's why he did the superhero Static Shock, woo woo. So thank Little Bow Wow for that. But yes, no. Okay, no, we're going.
Isn't
Yes,
oh, yeah,
well,
Teen Titans.
Teen Titans.
Yeah.
We're talking about Teen
All
Titans.
right.
Let's do this.
have complex feelings regarding Teen Titans.
Oh,
Should be
you
interesting.
know what that means?
I liked it when I was watching it when I was younger. It was very fun. It's probably one of the better cartoons I watched. However, once I was required by Death Battle to read the actual Teen Titans comics, suddenly my appreciation of the show went down as I realized it had nothing to do with each other, like at all.
I told you they were the opposite. Yes, like the actual show was so drastically different from the comics. Like so, but in my opinion, as someone who's read those comics back then, I think it was for the best they didn't decide to adapt the comics. Like they had those
comics. Don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
but
no, but the show.
it's disrespectful to diverge from the source material so much.
True enough, yeah, but yes, okay.
Well, didn't they eventually end up making comics based off the show too, within that time
Oh,
frame? Because
yeah, so-
They
that art
did,
style.
but they weren't part of like the real like DC.
Right.
or
This is
whatever.
the way I would see it. Kind of like Batman the Animated Series was never, in line with the comics, but now because that's become so legendary, that has in itself, the comics have kind of adapted the animated, series
True.
way of
Yeah.
storytelling in the future. So that's kind of how I would see it. when it
Yeah,
comes to
they would.
Titans.
Yeah, like they would eventually make actual Teen Titans comics like this, and basically this would be the new thing. Which, by the way, this issue I'm holding, this is a rare issue where Nightwing goes back in time to fight his younger self. So
What?
Of course.
yes, like okay, like that issue that I just showed
Screw
you.
you, comics.
Because okay, you everyone remember that one classic episode where Starfire goes into the future and she sees
Oh, yeah, that was
yeah, and
Yeah.
Robin becomes Nightwing and they have to fight this character named Kronos.
Remember that.
And he turns into a baby and then they have to raise him. Well, apparently this comic takes place after that episode where Kronos goes back in time to manipulate Robin to have him do what he wants. So Nightwing has to go back in time by himself. The Titans mistake him for somebody else, but Starfire recognizes him and saying, "Oh yeah, he's a friend." And Raven goes up to him and just now recognizes it's Robin. So he tells them that after Starfire left, they got back and Chrono became a good guy, but his evil side was still in there. So he did the same thing, and now Nightwing has to go back to help them out. So Nightwing actually fights his younger self and Kronos. It's pretty awesome. Yes, but no, like each episode of Teen Titans, holy shit! Like you talk about anime, man. Like Teen Titans was as anime as you could get. It wanted to be anime so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't as anime as you could get because it wasn't anime, but it was certainly very much so influenced by it.
Yeah,
I actually think, one thing I really love about shows like Teen Titans or Avatar is how they toe the line where like they bring in enough anime influence to be
Yes.
like better than they would, but they also don't bring in all the terrible aspects of anime.
Exactly.
So, you know, it reaches a nice equilibrium.
It's,
Yes,
it's
it
the
does.
westernized version, which I prefer in a lot of cases with reboots and things like that. Like I'm like one of the only few people that still defend DMC Devil May Cry over the original Devil May Cry because it pulls the stuff out of the Devil May Cry series I didn't like. So I kind of see it in the same way where I'm just like, okay, cool, find balance. That's what I like to see.
Exactly, yes. And, you know, the great thing, and in my opinion, it was because of Teen Titans we actually got to know these characters and love and appreciate them.
Well,
Well,
Yeah,
that's
there's
just...
one episode I remember kind of well, but not greatly. It was it starts off with Cyborg trying to like go past his limits on lifting, and
First
this, like,
episode.
gauge
That was a good episode.
Yeah,
this
like,
gauge of how he's doing is saying 100%, but he can't go past that because he's a machine.
yeah.
And they're trying to tell him, no, you're more than that. Then he fights this he's meant to be a superior machine after he kicks his ass a bunch of times in a video game.
Yeah. And then
And after he kicks his ass, he's like, no, I'm just a better person. And the gauge says 110%.
yeah, and then that taught him like he is more than human. So, yeah, no,
You
it's
mean
like
more than machine.
yeah, more than
this
machine.
shit- what is, never mind.
Shut up. Anyway, yeah, no, you're right. Like, well, that's the great thing about Teen Titans. Like, they had such great episodes, but I would argue they had just as many bad episodes.
You know, like ones that didn't really grab your attention very much.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. I don't want to mention any specific episodes because as my friend Cap has taught me, if you talk bad about the original Teen Titans, then expect a lot of people to come to your house with shotguns and torches. So-
Well, like to me, like when Slade or Deathstroke is involved, that's
Oh,
when you know
God,
business is about to pick up. Or if Trigon is on the episode, that's when you know like this is going to be an awesome episode. There are other episodes, like most of the fillers, that are hit and miss.
yeah.
Like for example, that one crazy girl who had the daughter of Killer Moth.
Oh no,
Crazy over
Kitty.
Robin.
Oh,
It was an
God.
interesting episode, not their best episode to be honest with you.
Oh, the fact that she came back twice. Oh God, I wanted her to die. I wanted her to die by spoon. Oh God.
I believe Will Friedle voiced her boyfriend. I believe.
Oh my God.
You know that the one with the tarantula head.
Yes, I remember.
Yeah, and it was really disturbing to see. It was
yeah,
really disturbing.
well, again, this is Cartoon Network. They pretty much told us, hey, bestiality is okay. Like they've taught us that. But yes, no, it's just like, yeah. But okay, well, another great thing about Teen Titans that I don't think we have mentioned is like,
Can I mention something about Teen Titans I think did impact the comic?
sure,
Like, didn't the shipping of like Raven and Beast Boy become like so much of a thing they made it canon in a comic book?
yes.
But then like, nope, never mind, that didn't happen.
God dang it.
They've been doing the same thing Teen Titans Go. I keep seeing like little remnants of Raven and Beast Boy going together.
Oh, TTG, how you love throwing the ships in our fucking faces and lighting it in fire in front of us.
See, I got into the show because I was big into the whole when animated series of Batman was ending, into the whole Robin thing, and the
Speaking of,
animated series did a great job with Robin.
Yeah,
so
no,
seeing
and
more of that was what got me in, and then I ended up becoming a Beast Boy fan more than Robin in that show.
it's just a damn shame they couldn't mention they couldn't show Batman. They could still make references to Batman, but
a couple of references.
Wasn't
where,
he in the Go movie? Because I think I remember seeing a clip of that on Twitter. They destroy the Batmobile. He comes out on the
That's
motorbike. Goes,
Go.
I'm Batman.
Let's go.
They destroy
Let's
the.
go.
Yeah, that's what I'm
No.
saying.
They have
Yeah.
made references to Batman where
Yeah,
if I remember correctly, it was
Wayne.
Robin and Slade. They fought near the building of Wayne Enterprises.
Yeah, exactly. And there was an episode where Slade said, "I may even become a father to you, Robin." And Robin's like, "I already have a father." And it pans blackness, and you see bats fly out. Like that's who his father is. Like,
could anyone ever like in Teen Titans, in the original Teen Titans? I feel like we saw Batman. You could take him seriously with that art style. But can you imagine Batman with the Go art style? Could anyone take him seriously?
I have seen Batman in the Go art style.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Is it that bad?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Very. Yes. It's hilariously bad.
Yeah,
yes.
They destroy the Batmobile. He just flies out of the explosion on a motorbike. I'm Batman. They destroy
I can take Lego Batman more seriously than that.
He says something else. I forget what it was. They destroy the scooter.
Sorry, that's just the way it is.
Roller skates.
Well, you want to know what the bad thing is?
Like, wow, nothing can stop the Batman.
Yeah.
Well, you want to know what's bad? It's too bad they couldn't use Batman because, again, they wanted to separate this from the other DC shows so much. But see, the thing is, Teen Titans did eventually become canon in the Justice League cartoon because you saw Speedy and you saw Speedy as Green Arrow's sidekick, and it's the same design, same voice actor. And then in the Teen Titans, you see Kid Flash, and and it's Wally West, but he's voiced by his Justice League voice actor. So it kind of...
At one point when Static Shock, due to some reason or another, I think it was like a crossover deal, he ended up in the Batcave with Batman.
And
he was like, "Where's Robin at?" And he's like, "Oh, he's with the Titans. And you'll go there someday too."
Yes. Oh God, no! Don't put. Well, Static already became a member of the Titans in the comics, so yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But it's just a shame they couldn't use any Batman villains because, again, like I would love to see like the other Titans' reaction to the Joker and like say. Yes, and be like,
or even put other DC villains. I mean, not even Batman villains. You could have Lex Luthor. You could do some other things with it.
I know, but how funny would it be to see Joker's interactions with Robin? Oh, if only we could imagine it. It's too bad.
Last time they had an interaction before that, it didn't end too well in Batman Begins.
I know.
If I said that Teen Titans didn't need Batman.
It doesn't, but it could have his villains.
I know a lot of people would say like, "Oh, it would be great to see Batman in there," but I just felt like it didn't really need Batman.
Yeah, I'm fine with it not having Batman.
I mean, how many cartoons of Batman have we seen? You know,
around 10. It's close.
Yeah, like Batman's been kind of oversaturated, and I feel like with Teen Titans, you know, it gave those characters a chance to shine without any other characters to kind of overshadow them, because I feel like if you put Superman or Batman in there, it will kind of overshadow them, and I think that was the point of why.
What if it was like, let's say you have Batman in, but he's really just like there as like more of a mentor, like he doesn't really interact with them.
So basically,
like,
you see
him do stuff for them. It just like gives them guidance.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what Young Justice is all about, pretty much.
That's true. Yeah, that's so true.
And Batman already did that in Batman in Beyond too. Him being like the mentor thing. It's not like we haven't seen that before.
Yeah, we've seen it many times. So it would be good to see. It would be good to see like Robin on his own, you know, doing things without Batman.
Well, see, that's the thing. Okay, I believe Batman could show up, but I think what you're only made, you know, hit the nail on the head right there. It's like you could have Batman, but let's just say he doesn't speak. Like, let's say Robin's at his lowest point, he doesn't know what to do, and Batman, and he looks behind him, and you see Batman's shadow. You see just the white eyes.
Just the white eyes, yeah.
And then you could. Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, and then he leaves a note for him telling him not to give up. So you don't actually hear him speak, but you actually see him right there. So that
my only problem with that is I feel like the only time someone would ever use Batman in a show that's already a hit is if the show is like is stagnating in like, you know, in viewership. Then they would be like, oh, we need to bring Batman in because that'll really get people invested in this season.
Which again,
but it wasn't going downhill. It was
right.
In my opinion, it was going up. So why?
Exactly.
Why
even bother?
Why fix the wheel if it's already going very well? If
it's
broken, don't fix it.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Yes, after 5 seasons, like, good job, idiots. Good job. left us on a goddamn cliffhanger that still to this day everyone is pissed about, and you give our hopes up, and we have what we have on screen, and yeah, let's just be happy about that.
I was shocked it ended with just the girl who would think it's Tara, and then end just like that. I'm like, what? Why?
It should have just ended with the. Yeah, like.
But didn't they end it with the movie though? They had a movie.
Trouble. Yeah. Well, again, which by the way, that movie really went way even farther with anime because they were in Japan. So yeah.
Well, if you think about it, they had a Japanese pop group singing the theme song.
Yeah,
so...
we discussed them. Like,
yeah, which is one of the best openings.
And eventually they get their own show as well.
Yeah, we talked about that.
I like Takayama Yumi.
Yeah, well, you know what that cliffhanger reminds me of? If you guys seen Disney's 101 Dalmatians, the animated one, where they have that dog, that hero dog Ace or whatever.
Oh
and
my
the puppies
God,
are watching.
Crypto the super dog.
And it's like, yeah, and it's like literally like kind of like that. Where it's just like literally like leaping over the edge, just like tune in next week of like, and it was like, and the show's like canceled. It's like this here. That's what it reminded me of. Is like a really poorly done cancellation or like non-continuance on the show that has this huge like literal cliffhanger, this thing that's like like you could have continued some, even if it was for 4 more episodes, you could have answered some questions, and the show's just like nope.
This is Cartoon Network. When do they ever answer questions? Hashtag never. But yeah, no. So I think we've pretty much said all we said about Teen Titans. It was a good show. It had its flaws, but it's still great to this day. Like 14 years later, holy shit, it still holds up in some areas. And again, like in my opinion, it cemented Tara Strong's career, as if her career wasn't already cemented. But yeah,
you could say she has a strong career.
Oh yeah,
I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming.
Which by the way, on an unrelated note,
and everyone, Duo has a terrible reaction to my puns.
Wish you would have stayed, huh? Okay, so speaking of Tara Strong, on an unrelated note, she may or may not be looking for me right now. So just to let y'all know,
she's always looking for you.
Because I criticized her Harley
Quinn. Many other people. She's not gonna pull a Jay and Silent Bob and just search for everyone.
Right. She's got bigger fish to fry. Yeah,
you don't know
that. She's already getting her hands full for Unikitty.
No, that's true.
Wait, you criticized her performance in what again?
When I did my review of Unikitty, I mentioned on how her voice acting has become repetitively predictable, and she really doesn't have that much range anymore. And
she got thrusted really quickly on one character alone. That just
and her Harley Quinn voice is like nails on a chalkboard to me. Like it's bad. Yes.
I don't really want to hear any more criticisms of real life people. Let's get back to criticizing.
Yeah. There you go. Good.
How long have we been going on for? Almost 2 hours?
Nearly 3 hours.
Yes, but we're probably going to end it soon because all of us probably need food and, other shit to survive.
I need it.
We could always do a part 2 of Cartoon Network.
Yes, we could. So
actually, if we're ending this, Jaro, are you free afterwards?
Sure.
Okay.
You just said sure. All right. So we're mostly done talking about the Golden Age cartoons. Let's quickly just go over the movies, I guess. Like we already talked about Trouble in Tokyo. We already talked about Dexter's Laboratory, Ego Trip. We talked about the 2 live-action Ben 10 movies. So
I don't think we talked about the Ed, Edd n Eddy movie that much.
No, well, we can talk about that more if you want. Sure.
I really just brought up that one of the characters has a third eye. That's it.
Yeah.
That was the big reveal on that. Was there anything? Did anyone go through a character arc in that?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. Okay, it starts off with the cul-de-sac in a bit of a ruin.
Oh, you're talking about
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of like in a way the last episode of the series, like the last thing of the series.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what ended it. So everyone is basically out for the Ed's blood.
Yeah.
And
well, that's the thing. We never
they
see
go
what
into Eddie's brother's room.
Yes.
They like Flintstone style his car and just leave.
Yeah, Ed sticks his feet out, even though the key. Okay, so the key is in an emergency place, and like it says, tap the glass. Boop. It's
Wasn't
a
it
peanut.
in case of movie break glass?
Yes, it was. And you see a peanut, but the key is inside the peanut. Yes, but the car doesn't start. I just want to know, how the fuck did Ed's brother get the car inside his room?
Sorry, I just saw a lightning star in the chat. Hey mate, stop mating so much puns.
Stop it!
I know, you're gonna kill us. Okay, so yes, the Ed, Edd and Eddy movie. Holy shit, that was a great way for them to end the series.
Yeah, I loved it too.
Yes, like, but again, like what your only mate brought up was a good point. We were supposed to see what their scheme was that made the cul-de-sac kids want to kill them, but we never did. So all we know is what
we're just not meant to know because it was that messed up.
Well, again, this is the same.
Didn't Rolf have like bite marks and like chunks taking out of his torso?
He like a big chunk of himself like bitten off.
Yeah, like
where your imagination should run. It's like the last episode of Lost where they're like, we won't explain everything.
Yeah, Naz is missing hair and nearly bald, and she's in a cardboard box on roller skates. Okay, that's weird. So yeah, it's just like, what the fuck did they do? This was the limit for Cartoon Network. Again, this is the same fucking network that showed decapitation, sexual humor, and many disgusting things. But for this scheme, they couldn't show us it. Nor has
Johnny even had like a bear trap on his head.
Yes, there you
God.
go. Oh my god.
Maybe they had a whole sequence animated for showing more, and then they cut it and have like an alternate version they never released. I know they've done that a lot with certain things, or maybe they had like cut it for time, not so much for the gore.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, no, I love the edit. I especially loved like we finally get to meet Eddie's brother, and
we get to meet a new character for once.
Yes, and
Plank isn't enough. Plank is everything, man.
I mean, someone who hasn't been in the series like in every single episode.
Wouldn't it be great if the ending of the show was Plank found a female Plank and they ran off together? And then
that would have been the perfect ending.
Yes, it would. Instead of him going off to Afghanistan and dying
and becoming a soldier.
Yes,
it's an oddly dark ending for him.
It is. Yes, it is. But
Johnny 2x4 going to the army, taking Plank with him.
I know, right?
Using his human shield.
Human shield!
He joins the army as Captain Melonhead.
Yeah. Oh yes, Captain Melonhead. I remember. Oh, actually,
yeah, he donned that persona in the movie.
Yeah, but he beat the shit out of the Eds even after. But it was after the cul-de-sac kids respected them and forgave them, and then the cul-de-sac kids.
They were all good with each other, but he didn't know. Just beat the crap out of him, and then the rest of the cul-de-sac kids beat the shit out of Johnny.
Yes, poor Johnny.
And then the Kanker sisters just drag Eddie's brother back into his trailer.
I hate the Kanker sisters.
What they were going to do with him is anyone's guess.
Well, because you remember. Whenever the Kanker sisters meet up with the Eds, Eddie always yells out, "I'm a minor, stop!"
Okay.
Oh yeah, he's not.
Yeah.
So
the Kanker sisters have to be at least 18 years of age.
Oh my God, they raped his brother.
And you never know. He might have been into that. I mean, 3 goals at once.
Oh,
you never know.
It was the 90s.
It was the 90s.
Well, the last episode came out in 2009.
That even though they were supposed to go on for another season, but Cartoon Network canceled them. I know, yeah. Well, by the way, okay, so I forgot to mention this. I don't know if anyone's seen this, but if you actually want to see an actual reemergence of Ed, Edd and Eddy, there was a live-action fan film filmed on nothing but an iPhone 8, and it's able to capture the humor and the cartoon perfectly in live action. I would highly recommend you go check it out.
Huh.
Interesting.
Yes, it is. It's very good. Like the actors who are kids in high school themselves.
Like the real ending of that movie?
Yes, sure. Go ahead.
Not the fan film, but the actual movie.
No, yeah, the actual movie. Yes, go ahead.
After Johnny gets the crap beaten out of him, he's just spying on the cul-de-sac or having fun. He's gone insane and he's evil now.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
And he's just doing this evil laugh, like ha ha ha.
Then
Wait, what? Like,
the movie's over.
there's no time left. It's the end of the movie. What movie? End.
Plank knows.
Yes, Plank knows. Okay. Also, too, there was.
Oh my
I'm
god,
sorry.
Plank is Deadpool made out of wood.
Oh no.
Come on.
It's possible. Okay. So there were two. Okay. I'm sorry to bring it back to this jar. I really am. But does anyone remember the Billy and Mandy movies? And when I say movies, I meant there were a lot of them.
Like the
No.
I mean, I might remember them if you describe them, but off the top of my head,
one of the movies is where Grimm misuses his powers, so he's in court, and they appoint a new death, and it's number 3 from Codename Kids Next Door.
What?
I don't remember that.
Yes,
What?
number 3 becomes the new Grim Reaper, and she's like, "Thank
Hell
you for
no.
choosing."
Is that the
Yeah.
crossover one we were talking about, or is that
No,
completely
No,
No.
that's
from-
not.
What?
Okay.
No, she makes a cameo in the movie. She makes 3 cameos in that
Oh
movie.
my god!
Ha.
Yeah.
Number
And by
3,
the end,
3 cameos.
yeah. Remember, comedy comes in 3s.
Imagine if Stan Lee showed up 3 times in one Marvel movie.
Totally.
Eventually, you'd be like, okay, enough.
Yes, but yes, no,
I mean, he showed up twice in Guardians 2.
that's true. But
Yeah.
okay, no, yeah, no, but okay. So, one of the movies they're trying to defeat the Boogeyman and get his powers back, and they're trying to get a gauntlet which can manipulate dreams. So it's the Infinity Dream Gauntlet. I'm dead serious. Like it's very weird.
Infinity Dream Gauntlet.
What
Yeah, I
happened
don't
to
remember
Alan
any of
Spencer
this.
Fingers wearing that.
Yes. Well, yeah, but see, this gauntlet has an eye in it, where if you point it to somebody, it can make your nightmares come true.
Okay.
So-
So Pan's Labyrinth.
Keep
I
that
like
thing
it.
away from me.
Exactly. Yes, there was another movie where there are 2 robots that Billy and Mandy have to save the future, but by the time they do save the future, other Billy comes back, but it's only minutes into the future. And he comes back, John Terminator Kyle style. Kyle Reese style. And Billy asks him, "Wait, why are you people naked?"
That
and
one I
it's
do
just like-
remember. Yes, I
And-
do remember
and-
that.
And Billy's
I
like,
don't remember that.
and
There's
and
too
Billy's
much
like,
Billy. If you hated Billy, you're gonna really hate that one.
yes, like Billy even asked, like, "Wait, why are you naked? Is it because clothes can't travel through time?" He's just like, "No, I just like to feel the breeze, if you know what I mean."
Yeah.
Again, yeah. Then there was another movie where Grimm's ex-girlfriend tries to take over the world, but then it was a misunderstanding. So then they get back together.
Wait, was that the one with all the spiders?
Yes, that was the one with all the spiders.
And it was like a Star Wars parody in some way too.
Yes, it was.
Or like sci-fi.
I
nerd
remember
in the-
that.
Yeah.
Yes, like it's
A
Billy's
lot
Billy
of
and
Terminator. There's a Matrix reference in there. There's all kinds of stuff.
yeah, Billy's quoting Star Wars to Jeff. It's just like, "I'm proud of you, Jeff. Now leave me." "No, I will not leave. I've got to save you." "You already have, son. You already have."
There's a lot of like jokes in there to like the 80s war movies, Band of Brother types things.
Oh,
References in there. It's really weird.
God. Then there's the Codename Kids Next Door movie.
Oh yeah.
Didn't see it.
I don't know how to
That was the one we were
describe.
talking about, right? Where they smash a moon into a guy.
Yeah, that was it. And then there was Jesus Christ, and then there was supposed to be a Johnny Bravo movie, and Dwayne Johnson was supposed to play him.
I'm still
but-
bummed that hasn't happened yet. But like I said, it's not going to happen today because after the hashtag #MeToo movement, there's no way they're going to have Johnny Bravo made today where he's hitting and macking on girls. It's not going to work. Like people will take it way too seriously.
Well,
I feel like that would be a disaster for them.
Having Dwayne Johnson play him is unrealistic because every girl would go into the arms of Dwayne Johnson. So I don't know how.
Heck, I'll go into the arms of Dwayne Johnson. Give me Give me some of that Dwayne Johnson. I've met the man. The man is awesome. I've shaken that hand. That hand is huge.
Yes, 8-Bit Misfit actually taught Dwayne Johnson how to play a shooter video game that escapes my mind, and he actually got to meet him and shake
during
his
Xbox Fan Fest. It was an interesting story, but yes, it was. He's quite the man. He's quite the charmer, and he doesn't even have to say anything. Just walk up and shake your hand, and you're just like, I'm enthralled immediately.
Yes,
but no, I'd vote for him to play Johnny Bravo. I thought it'd be great.
If I were to meet Dwayne Johnson, I want to see a comparison because I'm 5'2", and what is he, like 6 something?
He's like 6'3", something like that, and nothing but muscle. I mean, his arms are like tree trunks.
I would like to see a comparison, stand next to the man, someone take a picture and see. Damn, I'm like that. I'll be like that tiny to him.
Well, let's just say it this way. In my hand, this controller, looks relatively normal. In his hand, this controller looks like this mouse. like it is so tiny. He's holding it and he's like, yeah, man, you're going to have to show me how to do this. I don't really know this whole thing with the controller, man. And look at how much smaller it is compared to my hands. I'm like, dude, like his thumbs are covering one side of the controller.
You probably need the old Xbox controller.
Yeah. Oh, dude, we gave him an Elite controller and he about like broke it. Just squeezing it. I'm like,
This man can break a controller with his hands.
$120 controller made out of metal too, which is just like, I'm never shaking your hand again.
Yeah,
no, I'd vote for him, man, for anything like that. I mean, I would like to see him do some kind of like a wacky cartoon character. I could see him doing, how like in the 90s they did the live action, the earlier live action cartoon spinoff movies like the Flintstones movies, like with John Goodman or something like that. I could totally see Dwayne doing something like that.
Oh yeah,
fair enough. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So one last movie we'll end off on is the Powerpuff Girls movie. And please tell. Yes.
What would have been the only theatrical release movie by Cartoon Network, but unfortunately, a certain show ruined that.
Well, technically, that certain show is the third one to get a theatrical movie. The other one was Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Wait, you said third. Why were you holding up 3 fingers and your thumb?
I don't know. I don't know. That's just the weird way I do 3. Don't ask. You're not quite.
It's like you were trying to do like Western style holding up 3 and German.
No, at first I thought he was doing this, and I was like, "We're talking about Star Trek now." I was like, "I'm confused."
Live long and prosper.
Yeah.
Yes. Live long and prosper.
Leonard Nimoy.
Yes. Rip Leonard Nimoy. Okay. No. So yeah. So okay. So the Powerpuff Girls movie. To end off on it, what in the holy hell was Cartoon Network thinking by not advertising this movie correctly? It was awesome. Holy shit!
Awesome.
It was their first theatrical release, so I mean, I can give them some leeway, them not knowing how to advertise it. But it was Powerpuff Girls, which is a huge hit. How do you misadvertise something for a hit show?
And it came out after season 3 too. It was around season 4. So yeah, and
it wasn't the Powerpuff Girls the only cartoon show that ever won an Emmy.
No, there were other shows that won Emmys,
but afterwards, not before. I don't know. I don't remember. I mean, I remember they won awards. I'm not sure exactly which, but I remember there was some.
Won an Emmy though.
Yeah,
won an Emmy
before.
Yeah, okay. So it looked visually, the Powerpuff Girls movie is the best looking theatrical movie I've seen for an animated picture in that time. And holy shit, man, it's like they gave them that budget and they're like, have fun. And they could do whatever they want. I remember when they're playing tag in the city, and I still remember this day. Everyone complains Superman destroying a city is a big deal, but when the Powerpuff Girls do it innocently, it's fine.
I've made the joke before, the reason why Cartoon Network doesn't have a budget anymore for their live action or their cartoon movies, it's because they blew all of it on Powerpuff Girls. Yeah, it seems like they did.
They did, yeah. I mean, the movie only made back $11 million, and I
Maybe
don't
they
know
just
if that
accidentally spend too much money changing the whoop-ass name.
Oh yes, probably.
Hey, we
Yes,
can
I will
still,
bring that
we
back.
can still have that spinoff, man.
God
Whoop-ass.
dang it! Why couldn't the reboot be called the Whoop Ass Girls? Jesus Christ!
That's an
cartoon.
interesting thing. I love that.
It still would have sucked, but Jesus. But yeah, no. Also, too, another
It would have
great
sucked,
thing
but it
about
had an awesome name.
yeah, that's true. But I know I'm getting tired too. But yes, no. Another thing about famously about everyone blames it for bombing is the reason that movie bombed. It was because of 9/11.
Say what?
They said
I see what
that's
you
the
did
reason-
there. Wink. He said the reason
Yeah.
that movie bombed was because of 9/11. I like
Oh, God.
Dude,
That's
Dude,
the
Rich.
critics.
what is
The critic-
wrong with you, Rich?
That's not.
As
classic.
much as I like
Dude.
puns, no.
No. See,
Yeah.
About 50
That's-
years too.
The
good,
Hey.
Rich went in my territory. He went in the heart. That's
Shame,
like
Richard,
something I
shame.
would have done on my channel.
I'm a man of.
Shame.
Okay, first of all, that's not that's not something I just made up. That's literally what happened. That's what critics said.
I think he was. I
Go
think he
look
was
it up.
trying to be serious of what critics said, and I just turned it into something it was totally not.
Oh, okay.
No,
Shame
it's,
on you, Richard.
shame on me. Shame on the critics, man. That's what the critics said. So the critics can get away with it, but I can't.
That's hilarious.
This is
Because they're
messed
getting
up world.
paid, sir. No, I'm just kidding.
Get up. Let him explain.
Yeah. No, but okay, it was that one scene where they do play tag and they play tag in the city, and because they're causing so much destruction, everyone found that scene inappropriate and said this is way too soon after 9/11. I don't
Well,
like
there was
this.
there was no World Trade Center in Townsville.
Again,
Yeah.
So
it
how-
doesn't matter. They found again. This is
Oh,
okay.
Like,
Off
they did
topic.
stuff Like, they did
These-
crap like that with Spider-Man, where there was the World Trade
Yes,
Center, but then
thank
there's
you. I was
also
gonna
stuff
say
like
that.
there was also movies and shows where where they wouldn't be in the universe, and they were just like, just because that echoes this image, we can't have that. Like they did that with
Didn't-
some
didn't-
other animated series too.
and
Didn't that
because of
happen with the Pokemon anime? Like they took an episode out of rotation
something
because
like
they showed
that,
like
yes.
buildings getting destroyed.
Yes, but that's
Although-
Pokemon, no?
In that same episode, it also turns to the final level from Sonic Adventure.
Yeah, but no, but again, this was Powerpuff Girls, and again, that power again. Still to this day, I'm dead serious. People consider the first Powerpuff Girls movie a controversial movie
how?
because of that scene playing tag.
Because they're playing the innocent girls playing tag, and that reminds them of 9/11.
Yes, that's right.
Wow.
Here's my thing. So that reminds him of 9/11, but at the end of Man of Steel, where he's violently slaughtering hundreds of thousands of people, like 9/11 2.0, with buildings falling down and people dying, and he's a hero by the end of the movie. Like that doesn't bother them, but that innocent scene does, which is kind of hilarious by comparison. Like,
It is.
And the
Almost like-
Kryptonians weren't playing tag; they were fighting.
right? Exactly.
What was that, Jar?
I said it's almost like people randomly make up controversies for no good reason all the time. No, rhyme or
No,
reason.
not
They
on the
do.
internet.
No,
Oh,
we're sacred.
As the saying goes, controversy creates cash.
True.
That's what it does.
But
Truth.
yeah, but that's ironic because the Powerpuff Girls movie didn't make that much cash.
They could
Well,
have,
but yeah.
but the viewers, the reviewers did.
Yes,
Yeah.
but see, that's the thing, though. It's just
The
like this.
reviewers did.
Yeah, like it sits at a 68% on Rotten Tomatoes. But yeah, no, it's just like every time I watch the Powerpuff Girls movie, I'm like, this is a great movie. It sucks it bombed, but it also sucks that people compared it to 9/11. This is just the time we live in.
Yeah, that's a shame. And it also didn't if it, I mean, I know it's gained an audience over afterwards on video and stuff, but it really needs to be, I think it should have, because is it on Blu-ray yet, or is it still on DVD? It's just got a DVD.
It's still on DVD.
Yeah, and see, that's the thing Cartoon Network's been bad about is getting their stuff on better transfers. But yeah, I think
I
could
agree.
I think they could make a profit back on it if they really advertised it and re-released
they
it.
lost their opportunity to put it on Blu-ray when they brought back the Powerpuff Girls. They could have done it then,
Yeah,
in my opinion.
agreed.
Agreed. Agreed. But yes, okay. So that's about it, guys. I don't think we could say anything other than that.
I do have one thing to say.
Okay, go ahead.
Fuck Teen Titans Go.
I was gonna say it, but I'm not gonna say it. I'm just a guest.
You know what? Let's just end it with that. Teen Titans Go can go to hell.
Yay!
Yeah, we made it through. We made it through. We made it through Teen Titan. We made it through by insulting Teen Titans Go.
But who's gonna go see the movie this year, guys?
Unfortunately, I have to because my son is begging me to take him because he loves.
I am.
Okay. That's a good reason.
I have no
see
choice
it.
but to do it because Cartoon Network put a gun to my head. If this movie doesn't do well, we won't get season 6 of Teen Titans.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's blackmail.
That's crazy. That's just
pure blackmail.
You know that's like Call of Duty. It's like Activision putting those two Call of Duties together so they can make one money, make the money off the other for the game that people really want to play. That's awful.
Hold on, I have something to say. C-Spot Spinner, you better say season 6 for all of us, or else I'm firing you from Battle Mode.
Ouch.
Hey, look forward to the future, guys. We're going to get an even better reboot soon with the animation style, right?
Hey, Thundercats was terrible the first time. This is not.
No. Jaru, pump the brakes here.
Oh shit!
Pump the brakes.
Oh god!
You better
Next
not be
episode.
You better not be talking about the '80s Thundercats, are you?
Yes, of course he's talking about.
Yes.
Oh boy!
I love how Amber holds on.
Tried to watch Thundercats, couldn't get through the first episode.
You know what? You just lost a sponsor.
No, I go from 0 to -1 now.
You should have heard what he said about. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. We'll say that off camera. We can't say that here because if I say it on here, Duo is going to break this internet.
I will agree with him to a point, but he's looking at it in a wrong situation. 80s movies are supposed to be, and shows are supposed to be cheesy and terrible to a point, but still good. Like as you can see, I'm a huge fan of G1 Transformers. I can admit there's cheesy bad stuff in it.
Yes.
But I love that show to death because Michael Bay can't do it, and an 80s show can still have more character development.
You can't duplicate that.
Right,
No.
exactly. It's lightning in a bottle.
It is, but yeah, no.
Although one did, Beast Wars did, in a way. But
Oh well,
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, yeah. So
all our terrible movies opinions, we'd be here all day.
I think we've officially gone past the 3-hour mark.
I think we have. This is officially, write it down, everyone. This is our longest episode ever. What did I tell you? It's Cartoon Network. All right. So, yeah, like Amber said, we will do a part 2 to this. Okay, so if you guys want the people who are on here to come back, +8, plus Beetle 5, let us know. We'll do that, but we can't promise when we'll make it.
Beetle
who? What did
Beetle who?
Beetle 5?
Beetle who?
I see what you're trying to do, but okay. Okay. No, but yeah. But thank you all so much. Holy shit, this was a great episode for us to do. As you can see, we're probably all exhausted, and we need to get some food because otherwise we're all gonna die. But thank you all so much for watching. We are gonna take some breaks between Nerdbender to get the episodes more polished.
Although,
and we
depending if certain death battles happen, they'll be pre-recorded ones on my channel.
Yeah, pretty much. Let's go with that. Also,
but that's something we can't predict.
No. Also, to our next episode, I can't say what it is. It's a surprise, but that's unfortunately going to have to come out in the middle of July because it requires both Freelancer Amber and Duo Dreamer to see the product we're going to be talking about. So until then,
is it what I've been saying we should do? Wink,
yes,
wink.
Yes, it is. Wink, wink.
I have no idea what
What's
you're talking
going
about.
on here?
Well, we'll talk about this off camera. If we talk about it on camera, we've ruined the hype. Can't say no more. But anyway, so thank you all so much. We hope you enjoyed. And we're going to sign off now. So let's all go in our individual ways to sign off. I'll go first. Thank you all so much for watching. And until then, this is Richard Cora Kenobi saying, may the force be with you all. And I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye, guys.
And this is Duo Dream.
Amber.
Oh.
Oh, sorry. I'm going off of people. No, it's okay.
Go ahead, call off. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. No, it's all right. Freelancer Amber.
Thank you guys so much for watching. So remember to stay awesome. Be nice to animals. Don't be dicks. Keep moving forward. And we will see you all in the next video.
Yes. Oh! Duo Dreamer.
All right. So as always, guys, take care and always dream big.
Your only mate. I'm skipping ahead. I'm sorry.
If I could insert my recent Goku outro here, thanks to Masago X, I would, but I can't. So I will say, have a wonderful day, everyone.
Oh God. Jaru.
Like if you enjoyed the video, comment if you got something to say, subscribe if you want to see more, and as always, have a fantastic day.
8-Bit Misfit, or sorry, Joker. No, sorry, 8-Bit Misfit. Go ahead.
It's all the same now. Thank you so much, guys, for having me tonight. It was a lot of fun. I appreciate you guys all watching. Thank you for tuning in, and keep gaming, gamers. Always remember that.
Do you think we could get one more Joker line to close us out, bro?
Oh, but of course, one more would do. Toodaloo.
Nice.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Dog.